Nailed it.
No! I'm gonna make the most fantastic fucking stir fry. You can't stop me.
I bet I could.
This is Brandon's
take, like,
fault.
a while.
It wasn't before D&D, but we had to watch another episode of X-Files.
Yeah, X-Files is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Is Brandon in New York again?
No. We were watching it online through Rabbit.
Gotcha.
You guys never asked me to watch X-Files.
It's because it's our hot couple thing that we do.
The internet makeout while they...
Gross, I thought I was part of your hot couple thing.
Only on Sundays, after
Today is Sunday.
7.
After 7. Nailed it.
Alright, that seems weirdly specific, but alright.
Who's ready for Kingdom Hearts 3?
I already pre-ordered it. If anyone says anything about it, I will leave the game.
Oh, no, I like the hype. I've never played anything past Kingdom Hearts 1, so...
Oh yeah, no, the hype's great. My friend David's like, yep, already spoiled the game for myself, and then I just left the group chat.
Because the next one, now it's going to spoil for you.
It's already out in Japan.
Oh no. How long has it been out there?
Since Friday.
Okay, so not super long.
Not terrible,
someone's
but
probably
there were
beaten it.
leaked copies that some guy got his hands on, and the entire internet just went, like the entire fandom was just like, you're a terrible person, and we condemn you. And like, no one bought his fucking games. And then the creator came out, and he's just like, you guys are the best. And he's like, you're the best. If you make us cry, we're gonna be very upset.
Wow. That's a dedicated community.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how well people took it. So now that it's out legally.
Everyone becomes a terrible person. Spoils
So
everything.
are we ready to produce the live-action Kite Run?
Someone already did that.
Oh, wait, is there a live-action Kite Runner?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it released not long after the book.
What?
I'm almost positive.
I guess we'll have to stick with the animated one.
Yeah.
Who's doing the animation?
Swirly.
Last time on D&D. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the party, you guys stopped at a nearby tavern, had a tavern brawl sparked by Gensha, I believe, smashing a drink. I leave for 1 second and there's a brawl?
Yeah,
you missed it.
I don't remember anything that happened last time.
Yeah, you were pretty drunk.
You didn't even fall asleep.
What did we do?
Well,
Oh, I threw a cup at a guy's face. I remember now.
Nailed it.
then the party learned the tavern keeper knows one of the heroes' locations. So the party took him up on his offer to join, even though he was a bit out of shape. And the party went adventuring, where they discovered a group of frog people farming opium. And their leader, a nasty elf man, who was then bagged and tagged and taken back to the cart. And I believe that's where we're picking back up.
Quick
question, did we long rest at some point?
Yes.
Okay, because otherwise I have 2 health, and that's not great.
I could kill you right now, and you wouldn't even know it.
What?
Didn't you know I took... Oh, wait, you missed it. I finally got to use my special feat, Tavern Brawler.
Uh-huh.
Because we were in a tavern, and we got in a tavern brawl.
Okay.
It was pretty great. I threw a cup at someone's face.
They died.
Oh my god.
Immediately.
I'm
I made a soft meat crown out of their entrails and claimed myself Lord of the Tavern.
That didn't happen.
Half of it did.
The entrails part.
Yeah, I'm completely aboard the snort train now.
It's all coming together.
You came so fast.
All right.
Cool. All right, so the party's returning to the cart. In a sack on Gensha's back, there is another one of the heroes who knows the location of a third hero that the party was planning on adventuring to. Does anybody want to try to extract that information from him?
Take
Yeah,
out my toenail peeling pliers.
Let's see. Do. I'm gonna try and scare him to tell me things.
Wait, he's trying to help us, right? Why would he not tell us?
Why does he want to help you guys? You kidnapped him basically while he was
He said he'd
busy.
come with us. He could leave at any time. We just re-kidnap him.
I only work 3 more days.
Let's see. Alright, trash bag, tell us what you know.
Do you just say it in that nonchalant way and then just like flex
Nope.
your Gensha muscles at him?
Wait, tell us what you know, or I'm gonna tell you a really long story.
Tell us what you know, or I'm gonna have to swing you around like a flail.
As I tell you a really long story. And it's convoluted.
He's a bit taken back. He just got dumped out of his bag, and he's a little bit dry at the moment. So he looks at you, and he's like, I'll tell you. He's like, I'll lead you there. He's like, where's my horse?
Did we kill his horse?
No, we
think
didn't
so.
kill the horse.
I mean,
I mean, yeah, we would have.
He's like, you guys
Not on
don't have
purpose.
horses? You guys don't have any horses you're riding?
Why would we
like a
ride
Grongo.
horses through the jungle?
we had a Grongo, and then we ate him.
Nah, didn't eat Krongo.
Saying that, but
But yeah, why would we ride horses through the jungle? That's asinine.
He's like, well, how are you traveling? You're walking everywhere like a filthy peasant?
I mean, if you want your horse to get stuck in the mud and the vines and look like an ass, then by all means. But we took the smarter route.
He looks and sees you have a Triceratops pulling a cart. He looks and he's like, oh yes, he's like one of those.
This guy doesn't like dinosaurs. I take out my quarterstaff and level it at his face.
Roll to hit him, I guess.
No, level it at his face.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said level his face.
Not yet.
He just kind of holds his hands up. I mean, he's ready. He's ready to go. He'll fight, but he wants to show you guys where to go. As long as you give him back his opium and you don't hurt him, he says.
I ask him his favorite kind of dinosaur.
you're not
He-
fooling us.
He's like, wild dogs.
I look at Gensha to see if I can smack him in the knee.
My loaded baked potato exploded and I have bacon all over me.
Does that mean yes? Is that code for yes?
It's code for don't do anything stupid unless he attacks you.
Oh, okay.
And also, I'm actually literally covered in bacon right now.
Sounds hot. How hot is
It is kind of, it is kind of hot because this is a very fresh baked potato.
Yay.
Yay!
What's that laugh?
Let's see. He'll get in the cart. He gets in the cart and he's like, but I'm not sitting on the same end with the greenskins.
I think you'll find that you have no choice.
He says that to Gensha, the green skin.
Like pretty much the whole party is a broad addressment.
I
What
inform him
info?
that he has no choice and that I'm his bodyguard. But I say bodyguard in a sort of, not really like I'm your bodyguard, but more like if you try to run away, I'll beat you.
In a really hot way.
The word you're looking for is kidnapper.
See, he's gonna ask you. He's like, so I don't have any choice. He's like, I gotta go either way.
Yes.
Sometimes it's how life rolls out.
See,
Comes at you fast.
he just gets in the back of the cart and he like wraps himself in like a blanket and just starts lighting up his opium pipe. And he's like, chop chop. He's like, let's go.
Well, he's on board.
Hey,
Chop,
you
chop.
think he's gonna share?
Hey, Wastoid, you can't spark up in the cart.
He just looks at you like you're saying like the most like dangerous sin to him, basically, that he can't do what he's doing.
If you do it, then I'm gonna make you eat the pipe, and then I'll pull it back out of your ass, and then make you eat it again.
He's like, what do you expect me to do for the whole time we're gonna be in this cart? He says we have to go like an hour north. He's like, I'm going to stare into this man's beautiful eyes, and he like points at the monk.
I expect you to sit down, be very quiet, very calm, and tell us where to go. Then when we get there, I expect you to probably never associate with us ever again, and hopefully get eaten by alligators.
I don't know. He called me beautiful.
Shut up, Cab.
He's racist.
He will not give up his pipe.
Oh, I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying he can't use it.
Well, what's good? He should keep it in his mouth. Then he's like, at least I got this. And he has like a small canteen. And he like wiggles it at you. He's like, eh.
What's in there? I'm asking for a friend.
He just starts drinking it greedily.
Hey, Gensha, do we need to confiscate?
Huh? You went all voice manipulator and then you bugged out.
Oh, should we confiscate that?
Yes.
I'm asking for. Okay, cool. Dexterity saving throw to teleport behind him and drink all of his booze.
Wait,
Alright.
Don't we have like a couple barrels of?
I want his booze. I want them. They look special.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Nothing personnel.
I crit.
Oh no.
Let's see. You somehow roll cartwheel into the cart, land up behind him, but he's faster. He looks you deep in the eyes with a sense of danger. He's like, you'll lose your life if you try to take this from me.
Oh no.
Roll knowledge alcohol to see if I can smell what it is on his breath.
Knowledge alcohol.
Seems legit.
Alright, that's a 214.
You know, it is a very weak type of like schnapps, something like a potato schnapps. It was grown somewhere in like the southern part of the plateau where it's probably drier, depending on the texture.
I tell him to keep it.
Let's see, anything else that happens? He'll direct the party where to go. He introduces himself to the other hero. He's like, God, you let yourself go. And the other hero's like, he's like, it's just a couple extra pounds, but it's a lot more than that.
Oh wait, I forgot the other hero's name, but he's cool.
Ragnar.
Yeah, Ragnar. Ragnar's way better than
Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek.
Let's check the Shirebane.
Sure, matters.
Well, I have
Shrek the Shire. Oh yeah, does he hate halflings? I pick up Terran and wave him in front of him.
Whoa! Alright, someone. Guess this is the day bitch is gonna die.
Take him out.
What does he do?
He just exchanges his canteen, and he's like, I want to wear your hat.
I changed my mind. This guy's great.
Is he talking about my hat?
Your bowler hat, yep.
Oh, I asked him why.
Well, he says he can smell the magic on it, and he wants to see what's going on.
Well, can you tell me what's going on?
He can try.
I'll let you borrow it for a little while if you can tell me what's going on. So I'll let him try.
Alright, I'm going to have him take 20 to examine it, and he'll get back to you later today, trying to figure out what's going on with it.
I mean,
He tells you he only doesn't like the greenskins.
Oh, alright. See? Best friends.
Cab should
I spit on him.
Oh,
I look at him. It's like, it's okay. She does that all the time to me.
I might be green under all my feathers. He wouldn't know.
Are you?
Am I?
Just stop. Look dead serious right at.
I don't even know. I've never been featherless.
Can we see?
How would you see? You'd have to pluck me.
But what if you're green?
I might be. But really,
Cab
is
is
there any
filled with
problem with being
curiosity.
green?
There's no problem. I just know I gotta know.
Don't birds molt?
Yes.
But I am both a bird and a man. Do men
I'm
molt?
a man. Yes. Constantly.
Alright,
Sounds legit.
to the next hero. Does anybody have any other questions for this man before he takes you guys to the next hero?
Why he little
I
bitch?
asked him what his specialty is.
Oh, he's a ranger.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say that without saying what's your class.
I ask him why he's a junky piece of shit.
He's like, life isn't kind to everybody, especially heroes, and he just kind of like covers his face with his cloak and starts like drinking his canteen, so you guys can't see him, but you can tell what he's doing.
I asked Gensha what he's doing.
I kick at I kick at him while he's huddling in his blanket.
Oh, you probably would just smack it out of his hand, and it spills everywhere. He just suck it off the floor.
This pleases me.
Yikes.
Somebody doesn't handle liquor well.
I'm like, I know, and I'm like, where happened to the ones we brought?
Some empty barrels over there where Cab was standing.
Cab is wearing them as armor. Splint mail.
Let's see. Do you guys want to press him about his backstory, or do you guys not want to hear?
I'll just ask
I don't give a shit about this guy. I just want him to tell me where the hero is.
I mean, he is one of the
honestly, as far as I'm concerned, he could tell us where the hero is, and we just kick his gross ass out the back of the cart.
I mean, he is one of the heroes, though.
I know. Doesn't really bother me any. He could just tell us where the next hero is, and we could be rid of him. Why do we need him? We just need him for the information. And
I
to
just wanna
maybe
know,
help us, but...
I have a question for him. What did he do to make him a hero?
Oh well, before he was a hero, he was a soldier, and then he became a hero when he joined the heroic party, and he fought a bunch of giants that were gonna summon a demon that was gonna end the world. And then one time it's like 3 times he stopped the same lich from destroying the world, and then another time he stopped the king from being assassinated.
Seems like pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, he's like, so what are we doing now? Saving the world? And he's like, you guys are just like, no, we're just going to save this town.
How did he figure? Wait, how could he beat the same lich several times?
Liches come back.
Well, didn't he just destroy the phylactery?
Well, a good lich hides them. I'm speaking. A friend told me.
I mean, I figured you were asking that out of game because you often ask stuff like that out of game.
Yes, that was out of game.
That's okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's why he's a hero.
Why is Ragnar a hero?
Ragnar, they were in the same party, so they know each other.
Yeah, and where's
Ragnar,
the...
you fought a lich?
Oh,
Yeah,
ask
he's
him where
like,
the next hero is.
he's like, I'll direct it. And he comes and he like sits next to you, but he sits like he puts like a piece of cloth in between you guys while he sits up front to show you. He's like, I can't draw you a map, but I can point you there. I've been there a couple times.
That's very reliable, thank you.
Let's see. Ragnar tells you, he's like, oh yes, he's like, I fought many liches, and he just like grabs his stomach and laughs. He's like, I was a true warrior.
Liches be shopping. Right, Ragnar?
He's like, I don't know what you're saying, son. And he just like pours back some alcohol and looks at you like you're strange.
I take the alcohol. I thank him and then walk away.
All right. The party cart continues. It's not quite sunset yet, but it's gonna be there in the next hour or so. The party's making their way in through the denser jungle. He points as you come to Forks, not even really paying attention. He tells you some lame story about how he got this job where he defended some frogs from some Yuan-Ti. The Yuan-Ti didn't even want anything. He just told him to go away.
I ask him more about the Yuan-Ti, like what he knows about them.
He tells you that they're secretive and they're tight-lipped, and he says that he's like, to be honest, son, they're just a bunch of monsters.
But we do know he's already a racist, so...
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm probably going to take your opinions with a little grain of salt, though. I say that to him.
He's like, he's like, you orcs don't have much intelligence, he says, and he just tries to get his opium pipe lit. He's like, I can smoke out here, right? And he just can't get it to start.
Can I swing my mace at the opium pipe? I don't care if I hit his hands either.
Make an athletics check 'cause you're driving.
Okay. Oh, I forgot I'm the one driving.
Didn't you have the best handled animal?
Guys, I now have some dope ass stir fry.
Nice.
Excellent.
Craft. Roll 20 on the die. Nat crit.
Wow.
We've been doing this
Wow.
for 2 years. How do you not know what any of these words are?
Crit on the die for crafting for food.
Amazing.
Nailed it, Kate.
Fucking nailed it.
I rolled a 25 to lean back and smack at him.
You do. You swing and he like drops his pipe on the bottom part, and you probably could have taken his head off if you'd been like 2 inches to the left a little more.
I'd watch your tongue in my presence. Shithole.
He just laughs. His laugh makes you want to hit him really greatly. So the party continues on until he suddenly just sits up. He's like, stop. He's like, stop. He's like, we passed it. And he like points. He's like, it's like 30 yards back on the road, that turn we should have took. He's like, you just might as well walk there. I don't know if the cart's even gonna fit, he says. And he's like, canteen's like empty.
All right, here, let me just reverse the cart.
Did it work?
Yeah, I think so. That's the steam coming out of the Triceratops.
Gross.
Yeah, he had to open up the little vents on his tummy sides and let out all the steam.
I correct myself. Adorable.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right. The party departs the cart. As soon as you do, you can see just beyond the bushes, there's a small little house, and you can see a figure outside tending some vegetables, it looks like, or some kind of garden.
I greet them.
You can see they're some kind of feminine form. You're going to have to make a check to figure out anything else more about them.
I'm just gonna keep going closer.
All
Can I
right,
make
as you
a
do,
perception check? Is that alright?
make a perception check if you want to. Yeah.
12.
Oop, can't spell. Whispered.
Okay.
As soon as Cab waves, this figure appears to turn to face the party. It's hard to tell. She's kind of far away. And then sprints and closes the door as she enters her house.
Oh,
Hmm.
I look at Lashonk.
Oh, he's still at the cart. He's not even going to come.
Oh, okay.
I'll go with you. I tell you that it's another Dragonborn. Do you have history?
Me?
Yeah. She
With
looked at you and ran
Dragonborn?
away.
I don't think so. But I don't remember too much.
Well, let's go and get the next hero. The sooner we can dump them off on the city, the better.
That's fair.
All right, so the party, you enter, you see there's like a nice like garden
Whoa,
bed out
whoa.
front, and there's a little shack, and the door is closed. What does the party want to do?
Can I knock on the door? Like a light knock on the door?
Yes, you can. You hear like a
Wow, that's
voice.
holy word.
You hear a voice. It sounds like somebody is like a stressed woman's voice. She's like, "If you're brigands, you can leave. I don't have any valuables."
We actually are only here to talk. Could you open the door?
She's like, "If you're not brigands, just leave." And she like, and you can hear some footsteps. It sounds like she's getting further away.
I have some coin if it interests you. We just want to talk. And I jingle my coin purse.
She's like quieter now. She's like, "No, I don't want any," she says, and like you can hear like a bunch of noise.
Okay, we're coming in.
Yeah, I knock on the door. I'm like, please, I really have to use the bathroom.
My son needs to use the bathroom.
Please.
Alright, I open the door.
Oh, the door is locked.
Okay,
Oh.
I
Cab.
open the
It's a
door
good
with my
thing- it's a good
giant
thing I-
muscles.
I was gonna say it's a good thing I can pick locks. I swing at the door handle.
What is it from Ravnica? Orcish,
Pretty
or
Oh, yeah.
Locksmith?
Yeah.
He's using his hands. That's smarter than most goblins.
I attempt to smash through the door so that we can just either pop it open from the other side or completely obliterate the door. Whichever comes first.
Make a strength check.
Crit failed. That's never happened.
All right, you smash the door handle, then you come back for a big full body swing after the door doesn't open. It seems there's quite a few locks in this door, and you hit your mace against it, but actually it only hits your fist, and your mace goes flying off into the woods behind you. You swung back too hard. Did Bird Boy have an idea?
Taryn has a key that opens any locks.
Snort actually has the key because
I do. Well, I suppose
never
I'll
got it
open the
back.
door. I open the door with my key.
All right, only the doorknob is smashed now, so the key won't fit in the door.
Nice.
Whoa, I don't think it has to go in the lock. It just opens any door with
Oh man, is that what it says too?
No, well, I think it gets stuck in whatever you put it in to open things. I thought
Yeah, but that could just be any door.
you just stick it in the door.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna wait
magic.
one-
Okay,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
wait one
one-time
morning
use.
star.
Alright,
It's
so
not
I
one-time
just
use.
I
You can
find
do
a
it over and
crack.
over again. You just gotta take it out.
I find a crack in the door and I just slip the key in.
All right, and as you do, it almost like a keyhole surrounds it, and you're able to turn it.
Alright. I open the door.
All right, there's like 10 lock unhooking noises and like a big, it almost sounds like an iron gate opening or something, and the door finally like pops open.
As the door opens, I say, "This will be easier if you just come out."
You say it to an empty house. It's a one-room little cottage. There's a fire on the hearth. There's nobody in the building.
Is there a bathroom?
There is no bathroom.
How big's the room? Brandon, how big's the room?
It's pretty big. It's maybe like a 15 by 20 foot cottage. It has a hearth, not in the middle, but in the far left corner. Some bookcases, some tables, one small bed, and let's see. There's a lamp on the ceiling that hangs, that casts light, but it's not lit because it's not dark. There's a rug on the floor, and there's a window on every wall.
Okay. Can I cast Burning Hands repeatedly until I get the whole surface of the room?
Yeah. What is?
How many times can you cast Burning Hands?
Like 3 times, and then I can take a.
Oh, it's not a cantrip?
Unfortunately.
So
I'm sorry. What? One more time? Could you tell me what you're doing?
Oh, well, if she's here invisible, this will find her. And if not, I get to burn down a cottage, so it's kind of win-win.
I mean, I somewhat object to that. I know I just sort of tried to smash her door open, but that's a little excessive.
I'm gonna go out back to pee.
I don't really think we have time to argue over this, Gensha.
Wait,
only
do
have
we
a
know
couple
that
days
she's in
left.
here, or are we just trusting that she's in here?
Is there any other exits?
There's
I don't think
only
any
the
obvious-
door.
Or any of the windows openable or open?
They don't open.
Okay.
Can I try and
I look at Gensha and I say, check the floorboards.
Snort will kind of just sigh and like lean against the wall, like, fine, do it the slow way.
I give Snort a big thumbs up. I start poking at the floor with my stick to see if I hear any hollow stick noises.
Your stick is indeed quite hollow.
Oh no, it's a terrible stick. I'm gonna fill it with mercury.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll just tap the heel of my boot here and there to see if there's any hollow sounds under the floorboards.
What's the cottage made of, anyway?
Human skin.
Just rough cut lumber.
That's nice and flammable.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
That's too moist. It'll take too long.
No, it's crispy.
It's
I
like a
can
wet
find
noodle.
traps.
Do it.
Yeah.
Tell me when you want me to burn the cottage down.
Did
I
I
can
find
speak to the
traps?
darkness.
I'll whisper it to you.
Are we in the trap? Am I the trap?
Oh no.
Is that why you like me?
If only.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Double yikes.
I'm gonna
Christ
flip
is
the carpet over.
It reveals a sturdy metal trap door.
I'm gonna knock. Hello? Hello?
You don't hear anything.
I was gonna say you should have just opened up your mouth and played the sound of a door knocking.
Well, yeah.
That's what happened.
I tug on the door.
It has no lock on it. It opens up. It's heavy. You can see stairs as you open it that go down.
Ah,
And,
stairs. The coward's way down. I jump down.
Make an athletics check. It's a good drop.
And
I'm the only
I
person
can
without
fall
dark
slowly.
vision.
Snort said this was the slow way, huh?
I light up a torch. And I'll follow down.
All right, so the party makes their way down. Cab
Acrobat.
first.
It's worth noting that I use the stairs because apparently that's the coward's way, but
22
I
on my
also-
acrobatics.
I'll use the stairs with you.
yay, stairs.
You make the perfect acrobatic flip and land perfectly on the ground with 1 foot and a dirty water mop bucket.
I bow.
I give you a
Is it in
small round of
darkness, or-
applause.
Thank you, Gensha. Also, it's very dark down here. Do you see anything?
Can I give Cab my torch?
You can.
Hold your torch.
Thank you.
You can see.
It's very high up, so you guys can see everything.
I have dark.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
yeah. High five, Taryn.
High five, except it's really a low five.
I
'Cause I'm
tell
short.
Cab that'll be 3 gold for torch.
Oh, Gensha said she'd spot me.
All right. I turned toward
Ex-
Kensha.
I'm sorry?
Oh, look ahead. It's the thing that we're doing that's more important than whatever Gensha's mad about now.
What's ahead?
Let's see.
I don't know, but I walk forward.
On 3 sides, there is rough mud brick with storage shelves full of dry foods. Directly in front of you, you travel maybe about 5 or 10 feet, maybe around like 7 or 8, and there's like wrought iron, like a prison bars that extend all the way from one wall to the other, basically blocking your path. There's a jail door cell on it there, and you can't see the back of the cell.
I start breaking the preserves.
You just start breaking the food.
Yeah, I start knocking it off the shelf. Like they're in jars?
It's mostly in baskets. It's like apples and stuff that are in cold storage.
Yeah.
Wait, stop
I'll
that.
break.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's a waste of food.
Yeah,
Oh,
Food's important.
she's trying to lure the hero out.
Yeah.
by
Hopefully she
breaking
gets mad.
food?
You said they're raw iron, right?
Yep.
Blast off.
Sorry, son.
Didn't see what it is. I hope it was good. Darn.
You grab the bars, you start trying to pull them apart, and they don't seem to budge. They look very sturdy, but there's an iron gate door also. I'm
Wait,
saying.
did I do it?
Well, damn, that usually helps. I investigate for a key. Or a
Wait, did I do
keyhole,
it?
rather. Or maybe a lever.
All right, you look around. You check under some things. You look under the stuff that Snort spilled, and you don't find any key. Cab, you're able to wiggle the bars.
I look at Gensha with a big shit-eating grin.
I tell him that he's not inside that he's not on the other side of the bars, so he did no better than me.
Oh. How high is it? The bars?
It goes
They
to
go
the ceiling.
Dang it. I was gonna pole vault.
What do the 2 small set people? No, I guess there's 3. What do the 3 small people want to try?
I'll sneak through the bars.
All right, you're able to. Well, I guess you have to make a check. Do we still have escape artist? How about a dex?
I think
Okay,
just Dex,
acrobatics?
probably. Deception on the bars to make them think they're bigger.
Can I
Intimidate.
try, like, stealth or acrobatics?
Bender, you can't bend wood. Yeah, but this door looks pretty stupid.
With that, you're able to just squeeze through 2 of the bars that just happen to be a little bit further apart than the other ones. And you're on the other side, and you suddenly notice next to there's only like 3 barrels in the corner and a bench on the opposite corner. But we realize that one of the barrels isn't a barrel. There's somebody hunched over in the corner. You can hear a voice. It's really faint. It's like, "Go away."
I say, come
No
out.
one's here.
I'll
Good
shoot.
night.
I'll shoot. Come out.
The person
Not
just continues to
respond.
cower.
All right, I'll go up.
I tell Snort to come on with me so we can browbeat this person into coming out of the barrel. I figured.
Is there like a way to open the door from the side?
Oh wait, I forgot it's on the other side. I'm sorry, I'm very tired.
It's key required.
I'll go up to the lady then.
All right, she's
put my
like
hand
visibly shaking.
I say, it's all right. Hey, look at me. It's okay. We just wanted to talk. That's all. Can I make a deception?
Yes.
But we just wanted to talk, isn't that
I
right?
believed you.
Isn't that the truth?
I give a very insidious.
Let's see. She doesn't buy your lies. She like turns and you can see one of her eyes only because you've dark vision. It's all basically shadowed in the corner here. She's like, "What do you really want with me?"
We just we heard that you were a hero, seeking your wisdom on a task. Should I make another deception check?
That's kind of the truth, really.
Okay, hey, you take it as the truth.
Whoa.
No, it's not really the truth, is it? I guess. But
You can give me advantage.
no, I'm just gonna keep your old deception check.
Damn. She doesn't believe me still then?
No. She looks. She says, "Yes, I was once a powerful sorceress."
I hunch over and sigh and say, "Fine. We were hoping to get your help with a infestation within the city."
She like almost shakes when you say that. She's like, "Oh," she's like, "That does sound frightening."
But we can discuss more upstairs. I'm not your little cellar.
She's like, "It's best if the younger heroes take care of that." And she says, "The people who are brave or naive, I suppose." And she just kind of like leans against the nice mud brick wall.
Why aren't you brave or naive?
Could we at least go upstairs and talk? I promise we won't force you to do anything. And that's a goblin's promise.
She's like, "If it'll make you leave faster, I suppose we can talk. Not here."
I asked the lady's name.
She gets up, and as she's heading there, I imagine that's when you say it. She looks at you and tells you that she's Agatha Bristleback, the mighty sorceress.
I
And
tell her I like her cellar.
she's like, "My safe room." She taps Taryn on the head. She says, "Only the naive are brave."
Or the stupid.
That explains why I'm a chicken, kind of.
I quickly scribble down Agatha.
Steal her name.
The Bristleback. Oh shit! I forgot about the stupid name thing.
Thank you, Cab. I appreciate the introduction. I tell her I'm Snort Hannah.
Let's see. She looks like the way she moves and walks. She looks like she's 100. Like she's frail and shaky. And she very like. What would you say if you kept your limbs close together? I guess.
Withdrawn.
Yeah, perfect.
How is she human?
She's a dragonborn.
I'm gonna ask her about her dope magics.
Just take everybody upstairs where it's warm by the hearth instead of the filthy cellar. She has like a very moderate robe on. She'll tell you about the liches that she fought and all the times. She'll tell you about these adventures, but she'll tell them as if there's somebody else she's regaling, I guess.
I ask her if she remembers a hero by the name of Ragnar.
When you say his name, she jumps like a foot away from you.
What? Did I say something wrong?
Let's see. She's like I don't. She doesn't know what to say about him. I guess something about him is very upsetting to her. I guess.
What about Lachette?
She's like, "Is that Grouch still alive?"
Barely.
Would it make you feel better if I told you that Ragnar got fat?
She just looks at you and she says that that's her husband.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's like a Spanish soap opera or something, guys.
But really, it was her brother's cousin's tennis instructor who died in a volcano.
Perfect. She tells you that when they were heroes, they were at a party together, obviously, of course, and that's where she was. She met him, and she really admired his power and his strength and his confidence and stuff. She was always so happy because her team was very trustworthy. He, like the ranger, was the grouch, and everybody fit together well. And she trusted they could help her because she's a mage, so if she gets hit, she could be harmed physically very badly. And they were a very good shield for her and made her feel strong. And she just keeps focusing on the word trust when she explains it to you, that she trusts them. And she says that she no longer can trust Ragnar.
Did he cheat on you?
She says, no. She tells you that you don't know, but he is a special type of warrior called a berserker.
Is that not the surprising part?
I guess this
I'm
cat.
guessing he went into a rage.
Yeah, she said many times they were married and they actually lived here. And she said that he gets the blood rage.
He looked too big for a damn thing.
And he strikes indiscriminately when he becomes like this. And she said that after he did that, he was so terrifying that not really him himself, but the idea that the person she trusted most, she couldn't trust him.
That's
heavy.
She's like, so what can I help you with? She will serve you guys some nice tea from her hearth.
Yeah.
I asked her if she knows anything about the black worm thing. If she's ever experienced anything like that. So we can have her help.
No. She doesn't know. She says that she's seen great things in the Underdark when they've traveled there that sounded very similar, but she has not seen anything like that on the surface or know of any of it around here.
Be possible for them to come here? Do you know if their nature might be otherwise?
Let's see. She says that she'd have to think about it, but she does consider that there were some kind of creatures that were summoning these horrifying black tentacled masses in the Underdark, and she said that many of the things she saw in the Underdark, if they were brought to the surface, would definitely wreak terrifying havoc, unruly havoc.
I think we might have something, but we don't know where it came from. It came from, we don't know how it came about. We know it came from a frog deity in the woods. We don't know why it would have something.
She tells you that's very interesting, that it wouldn't spawn on the surface. It would have to have been brought here by some kind of means, especially some kind of large creature. There'd need to be a lot of time to get that much mass. She tells you weird things about these tentacle creatures and stuff, their preference for water, things you guys already know and stuff.
Okay, so she does kind of know about it.
Yeah, the more you talk, the more she thinks that she understands exactly what you're talking about.
Do you think there's a way you might know or discover to purge them or send them back where they?
Let's see. She tells you she'd have to know more about the core magics that brought it into this world, and she says that possibly they use desiccation damage to destroy the creature and drive it back before it was actually brought into the world. So.
So wait, does that mean desiccation? Does that mean that they're vulnerable to dehydration?
She would expect
so.
so.
In a moment of lucidity.
Just for a moment.
And then he's like, boobs fart, boobs. So, but would that mean that you could use something like salt?
She tells you she agrees that desiccation damage and things like salt drying would be anything that dries things would be weak to them. So theoretically, even a very dry towel could add damage.
What about salt water? Would that maybe damage?
She's not sure. She thinks that salt damage would most likely, but it would have to be tested.
Well, we were going to ask you to join us, but Ragnar is waiting at our wagon.
When you say, every time you say his name, she like winces as if like bad things are happening in front of her.
Wagner.
I'm gonna ask her how she deals with that stupid elf guy.
Let's see. She tells you that he's a grouch and that he's mean, but that he really cares about his family and that he is. You can't take him seriously, honey.
Wait, his family? We found him alone.
Let's see. Oh, are you prompting her with a question, or is that a realization you're having yourself?
Prompting her with a question.
She says that she doesn't know much about his current state because she hasn't talked to him in like 4 years, I think, maybe 5. So it's been a long time since she's talked to him. She said that he would never shut up about like his family. He has his sons and his wife and stuff. That he would always talk about them when they were out adventuring, which is funny because nobody else really did that.
He, hate to break it to you, but he lives on an opium plantation with a bunch of frog slaves.
He could be better.
She almost thinks that's like funny. She's like, it's funny that he always finds himself in places where he's like in power over people because he was a soldier who oversaw other soldiers.
Is there anything you can give us that might help us on our journey? Since you're not willing to come with us.
Well, you guys didn't actually ask her, but also I don't think she knows that that's what you guys are prompting her for, right? I know. I guess you assumed it.
Well, I'll ask. Do you want to come and help us?
She's like, no. She's like, my vegetables need tending, but you know, she's feigning that she just doesn't. She's very afraid.
Well, it is something that will affect you, if not now, in a short while. It spreads quickly.
And we are very powerful. If you come with us, you have a better chance of making it than if you have to deal with it alone later, because we fail, because we're bad.
Show her your muscles.
No.
Gensha, do it.
No, that's...
We need a sorceress.
That's useless and dumb.
What, you're a divine caster, right?
No.
We need an arcane. Here. I'm gonna struggle with Gensha to make her show her biceps.
Let's see. She goes to her shelf and she comes back with like this white powder in a big canister, and she gives it to Snore, and she says, "If you put it on your weapons, they'll do serious desiccation damage."
I thank her. Thank you. I give her a little bow and put it back in my bag.
What else? And then she goes back and she comes back with like a bunch of candies, and she's like, "And candies for the boy," and she like gives them to our favorite bird boy.
Me?
Oh, I get candy. I peck at them.
Just spill them on the floor.
Just like.
All right, so is the party, she doesn't want to go. Is the party going to push her at all? Or the party got information? Does the party want to do anything else before they leave the setting?
I want her to teach me a magic.
I ask her if she knows any, or if she has anything to make this tea a little bit harder, if you know what I mean.
She's like, of course. And she like slides you a barrel. It's not like a barrel, like a table barrel. So it's like a fairly wide, large barrel you use on the table to get alcohol out of. You fill your drink with it? It's vinegar. It's vinegar, man.
Delicious.
I drink it all down, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
I mean, you had onion-nade. I feel like that's a little better.
You might die.
No.
I don't know if you can just drink a bunch of vinegar.
I have a 13 constitution. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Let's see. Grandma Agatha shows Bird Boy some silly little magic tricks. Not even like real magic, but literally just like taking your thumb off level magic tricks.
Oh man. This is not what I wanted.
Blowing my mind, dude.
Let's see. I guess you can give a book to the Bird Boy, but he's a divine caster, so none of the things really transfer. But how about this? If you want to, you can take a level in sorcerer next time you level up, if that's an option to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool, because you have theoretically a book instructor. Here's a book.
You
Dope.
can learn.
Read.
Nice. All right, and the party can depart Agatha's cottage. Now it's pretty much nighttime out, so you guys have to take your torch out and wander back to the cart.
I look for LaShark.
He's asleep on like a pile of bags. He smoked all of his opium and just went into a coma. Ragnar is like waiting there when you get back. He's like, did Agatha talk about me?
Nope.
I wasn't listening, but she did make me drink a lot of vinegar.
Yeah, she said that you have a tendency to go into blind frenzies.
She says, he's like, I am a really good berserker. Yeesh. Alright, where does the party want to go next?
To the hospital.
Where?
Are there any other people in this party of heroes?
There is, but they don't know where the third person is. Theoretically, the third. You guys ran into Ragnar accidentally. He wasn't one of the heroes that you guys were thinking about getting. There is another person who's a wanderer.
It's Cab. We found him.
Yeah, it's me. I knew it. I remember. I'm back to level 20 shaman. Is that a class?
The whole time.
I feel like we should probably get her to come with us, but...
I mean, we could kidnap her.
We could just leave Ragnar here to tend to the vegetables.
Oh.
I say audibly.
I mean, Ragnar would probably be more useful, less of a liability.
But she knows
Here,
magic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I said, Ragnar, this would make you go any good with your lady. She'd love you if you could take care of vegetables.
It says he doesn't know a dang thing about them.
Oh,
But you can
wait,
learn.
I'm sorry. They're bitters before you put them in the drink.
He looks at you like you said too big a word.
You know what bitters are. They're in drink.
No, he knows. He just... Your thinking doesn't cross up with him.
Oh. Why don't you... Okay, Ragnar, you stay here. Follow me. And then stand here at the end of the garden. And then I'm gonna go get Grandma Agatha.
Gragatha, for short.
Yeah, Agatha. And, okay, so I knock on the door and I'm like, Agatha, it's me. Your favorite one.
Like, she peers out the window, she sees you, and then she sees Ragnar, and you see her just, like, go back down.
No, Agatha.
You can hear the doors getting the extra locks turned on. She's like, take him away.
No, I told him to stay over there. You guys need to talk.
Do the other party members want to do anything?
I'm gonna...
Sorry, go ahead.
I've honestly just seen fit right now to let Cab make an ass of himself, so I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna try and convince Ragnar to go apologize. Can I try and persuade him?
Make a diplomacy.
I asked Leshek if he needs a light for his pipe.
I don't think there is diplomacy.
Did we get rid of that?
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, the Shrek is unconscious pretty much. He's in a coma.
Damn.
I'm
Can
gonna
I search him?
climb on top of Ragnar.
You can search him. Bird Boy climbs on top of Ragnar. Ragnar holds Bird Boy on his shoulders like he's like a child.
Good. This is what I wanted.
Josh, who are you trying to persuade with that? I can't remember. I blanked.
Ragnar to go apologize.
Ragnar says that he has already apologized many times.
Well, you gotta mean it.
I don't think an apology will be enough, as I'm like ruffling through Leshenk's like jacket and thing.
Let's see. You find just some like terrible elven bread. You're like, ooh, gross, elven bread. And then there's quite a few of those actually. A couple of small daggers. And obviously has two short swords on him.
I want to take all of his daggers and throw his bread on.
You have officially robbed and wrecked him.
Got him.
Got him.
Well,
And make sure to stomp on it too.
the bread?
Yeah.
What's with you and food today?
Maybe it's my theme for today.
It's my overarching character theme. I hate food.
Not goblin food, not good food.
Let's see.
That seems very ethnocentric.
Well, when you're the best, that's what it's like.
So anyway, I'm like, Agatha, he is really sorry, but there's something else I think that he can do to demonstrate his gentleness. Would you be willing to listen to my idea?
Let's see. She says something that only you can hear, Cab.
What did she say?
I'm
You
whispering
whispering it to me?
Yeah. Oh.
He's actually the father of the forbidden love child of her sister.
Oh no, I kill him. How could he?
I ate so much stir fry. I'm dead now.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Sorry, I'm such a slow typer. Let's see. So I imagine Ragnar is just playing around with Bird Boy. Shrek just got wrecked. Gensha's just watching for amusement. Terran is attempting to help Ragnar, but Ragnar has no sense, even though pretty much because he's more.
I say, what if we leave him here, and he can help take care of your vegetables, and if he doesn't, he has to agree to never see you again.
She says that make a persuasion check.
No, someone else help.
No.
Bard, throw Bard.
If I'm around, I can try and step in and be like, hold on. Let me word this a little more eloquently.
Nat 20.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
-1.
Natural 20, but actually a 19.
She says that might be acceptable.
Yeah.
Now, will Ragnar agree to
How
that?
good he is with the little bird boy.
I pick bugs out of his hair.
All the bugs you pick out of him are the kind of bugs that eat plants.
They eat plants?
You better get them all.
Yeah, he's going to destroy these plants, hasn't he?
You played yourself.
No, because we still got her to help.
Nice. All right, so Agatha joins the party. Ragnar's leaving the party.
Bad though.
I tell Agatha, long time no see.
She's like, it'll certainly be an interesting adventure. I imagine she just like has like a cloak on and she just like covers her face and body and shields it as she walks past Ragnar, and he can't even say anything.
I'm like,
That's
okay, Ragnar,
bad.
buddy. All you gotta do is not destroy all the vegetables. Prove that you're gentle and can control yourself, and then maybe you can talk to her again.
Let's see. He puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, there's only two things I know how to do, and it's kill people and sell alcohol.
Well,
Can I?
you better learn quick. I don't know what to tell you, man. I gave you this opportunity.
Don't waste it.
Bird boy.
Can he read?
He can read.
All right. Can I make a I guess an investigation or a perception to find books on plant tending?
Yes.
Can I do perception?
Perception would work. You have to spot them on the wall. Makes sense.
What does an 18 get me?
You find 3 tomes of agriculture.
Yes. Are one of them like plant tending for wee babies?
Yeah, 2 of them are.
I'm gonna give them to him.
All right. He takes them and he like scratches his head. He's like, "Hope I can figure this out." And he just kind of like holds the book upside down. Then he turns it around a couple times till he's like, that's what plants look like."
You're gonna do great.
Well,
Right.
we ruined this lady's farm.
Yeah, but that's only seasonal. We ruined Ragnar's life.
Well, he ruined his own life. Let's be real.
I tried to help him.
I asked Agatha if she knows either where the Yaunti are or where the Wanderer might be.
She says she can take you to where the Wanderer goes to, like at least once a month, but she can't tell if he's gonna be there or not.
Is it
I
far
asked
from
her
here?
to-
It's close.
Oh, okay.
I asked her to tell me more about the Wanderer.
It says the Wanderer gave up all the worldly possessions in order to seek true enlightenment.
Oh man, this guy sounds like he's gonna be my favorite.
She says that she like smiles when she says that, and she gives smelling salts to Lautrec, so he wakes up and he's like, huh. He's like, oh, Ragnar's gone, huh? Because Agatha's here.
Yeah, he's trying horticulture.
He just shakes his head. He's like, dude, we should have given him some alcohol too. He's not gonna do anything good. And he looks at Agatha and he just like, Lautrec's just like, ooh, it's gonna be bad.
What does Agatha say?
Just looks very upset.
Well,
Like somebody
this
who
is how
agreed to a bad deal.
I explained this is how you know whether or not you can really trust him. I guess.
She's like, whether or not I can trust you. And she like points at Cab.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
All right, does the party want to roll on to this secret place?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the party starts on rolling. Now it's nighttime. You guys gonna travel over the night, or you guys want to camp?
I'm gonna
Camp.
sleep either way.
Probably better to camp.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
Sounds good.
I'll take the first watch.
Cool. All right. So you're sitting on. Everybody sets up their camp. The Shrek, he sets up his camp so it's like completely as far away from Snort and Gensha as possible, just like even over by the trees.
Wow. How extra.
I asked Agatha if he was always like that.
Let's see. She's like, oh dear, no. That's a new feature.
I bet he dated some orc lady and she dissed him real bad.
Or an orc dude killed his family.
Oh, that's a way better idea, actually.
I'm gonna ask him about it.
All right. The bird boy wanders away to from the fire to go and look. To go talk to the dirty elf man. He's setting up a very peculiar looking hammock, and it has like built-in alarms or something. He tells you as you come over. What do you ask him?
I'm like, hey, why do you hate my green pals so much? They ain't gonna bite unless you bite first, usually.
You're not helping the case.
Hey, I am but a bird brain. What's
Let's
he
see.
say?
He just kind of looks almost cross at you, like trying to tell him to do something that makes him angry. He throws his hammock on the ground instead of finishing setting it up, and he turns over to you. He tells you that after and before he was a hero, he was a soldier. After, when he became a soldier again, they made him a general. And there were always border wars, he tells you, with the orcish tribes that raid. And he said he never thought anything much of it till he was positioned there. Let's see. He's like, I used to take sorties 3 or 4 times a week, and we'd do combat with them and chase them. My job was to set up a bunch of defensive forts along the border in order to deter them, because we had no formal agreement with them at the time. He says that his family was stationed at a nearby fort, because that's what usually would happen, is that the generals in the upper guard, their families would come live with them because they had privilege.
Privilege, you say?
Let's see. And both of his sons were soldiers also.
Aha, so I'm right.
Yeah, you are right. He tells you that he was on a sortie. He was going to some remote farm somewhere with a small group of people, and he was telling some other soldiers. No, he was warning some farmers about the forts, telling that if they heard the gongs, that they should return to the forts in order to avoid being killed in a raid, which was a very effective model. And then he went there thinking that was okay, and a messenger arrived and told him that the fort had been attacked. And for the whole time, he was sure that nothing had happened to his family. He was sure of it, so very sure. But when he got there, that wasn't the case, he tells you.
I'm gonna tell him that he's being stupid anyway.
Yikes.
And that Gensha and Snort never were in these wars, and they didn't do those things. And that's like blaming a child for his father's sins.
He'd probably try to kill you, so he's going to draw his sword and attempt to attack you for saying such a thing.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna...
Does anyone else notice that?
He's pretty far from camp, so everybody else probably would have to make a good perception check. People with dark vision get a +2.
I can almost guarantee that I would be drinking.
I can guarantee I'm not.
That's gross.
I loved it. Gain 11.
I have a 21 +2.
We can add 2 to that, so I get a big old 10.
The freshest number, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm gonna just cast command. Can he beat a will save?
Yeah. I think he's got a pretty good will. Well, he's got pretty good wisdom.
I think you'll find our will equal to yours.
That was good, Josh. Let's see. Everybody but Gensha notices the man draw a sword, and he immediately sticks it out as if he's gonna poke a hole straight through the bird boy.
Can I try to get...
You have to make a reflex, so make a dex save. Wait, we still have reflex, don't we?
No, it's just dex.
It's just dex. Make a dex save if you want to try to take an action. That's pretty
Just
good.
anytime you think there's
Does
still a
this apply
save,
to me as well?
No, he caught you flat-footed, so you don't get an action. Well, I guess that's not fair. I'm getting everybody else an action. He gets to take an action, then no matter what your reflex save is, that's how we'll decide whether the next action will be. Because he can't be caught flat-footed.
Oh, so what, does he go first then, or?
Theoretically, he goes first then, yeah. Let's see. His action is so quick that like Bird Boy almost doesn't see it. Everybody else literally just sees the shine of the blade against the campfire, basically, not even it being drawn. It's just suddenly a flash and it's out, and he points it directly at the Bird Boy's throat, and he says, "He's like, you don't know what I lost."
I lost my whole family when I had to come here. They're probably dead. I was the only person who could heal out of any of them.
But you didn't have an option. He tells you that if he had the option, he didn't have to go on that mission to that remote farm. He chose to go to that mission, and if he'd stayed there, he maybe could have done something.
Well, I chose to be taken prisoner instead of my siblings.
Let's see. Yeah, he's not persuaded. You can make a persuasion check. If you get a really good number, maybe you can come something out of him with it.
I crit.
You did.
Suck it!
Let's see. The way Bird Boy says the words, it's almost like when he looks at the elf man almost understands what it was like to take their place instead. That maybe this Bird Boy isn't just a bunch of words.
That sure were some words that you just said.
Did it make sense?
Yes, kind of.
Puts his sword away.
Nailed it. Diplomacied that bitch.
Alright, does anybody else still want to take any action?
Yeah, I think the situation is settled for now.
I'll come over still. I'll just go over to where they are and ask if everything's all right. Oh no, I knew it. Clang, there we go.
Clang just says, everything's cool.
Alright.
And he shrugs his little birdie shoulders.
I tell him to come to the campfire. We just found roasting.
Oh, what'd we cook? Any bugs?
Huge ones, I say with a grin.
Okay, I'm gonna drag Grumpy Elfman over to the fire also. He's gonna hang out with us, damn it, and not be racist.
He'll agree. Your persuasion was
hang
good.
Out, with Agatha, I'm gonna ask her more about the Wanderer. Because he sounds cool.
Let's see. She'll fill your ear about it until late in the evening. Many of the great deeds. Literally just take whatever, just imagine what something Diogenes would do. There you go. Just switch the names around to this wandering hero. Done.
So he masturbated in public and then asked people for apples.
Here, let me find one of the saints instead. We'll do them. What a monster, Diogenes.
He's just like he's just like, you're stupid and awful. Give me food because I don't work. He's the best.
Yikes.
No, opposite of yike. Yay.
Yikes.
Let's see. While the party is setting up a camp and you guys are eating, and the shark is actually opening up, he tells you some pretty good anecdotes, especially like dumb things that he could trick Ragnar into eating.
That doesn't seem too hard.
He's
Looks
like it.
he eats thing.
He's like, well, I told him that pine cones were a type of fruit, and they are juicy on the inside, but they are not.
Clank says he'll eat anything, just dare him.
He'll probably get you to eat a bunch of terrible things, like small rocks that he finds. Then he'll be like, "Oh, look at this fresh fruit," and he'll just like show you a rock.
Joke's on you. Birds eat rocks anyway to help them digest their food because they don't have the right kind of stomach acid.
He played himself.
He played himself. Birds eat gravel.
Stupid
It's
elf
roughage.
doesn't even know science.
Okay, so while everybody's talking at the fire, who is anybody standing watch at the time?
Well, I said I'd take first watch for night, so if everyone's sleeping.
No, this would be while everybody's still at the fire. So this is still earlier in the evening, I guess. So, everybody, you can see there's looks like two figures are coming down the road that you originally came down when you were going to Agatha's, and which you're going back down. And they're running down the road, and it looks like they're heading straight towards your fire, towards you.
I cast True Strike on.
All right. True Strike's up here.
It's a cantrip, so.
True Strike. Next turn, your first attack roll, target has advantage. Okay, yeah, that works. All right, does anybody want to everybody make perception checks?
Perception!
Nice. If only I had advantage on that.
Wow, nice rolls, everybody, except for Morgan.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Got her.
All right, so Cab and Taryn, Genshin didn't roll. Oh. Maybe John went to go get a snack. Anyway, you both notice there's two figures. One of them is definitely a frogman, and the other is some kind of humanoid, maybe a human or an elf who has fair skin. They look distraught, and they're running towards you guys.
Terran stands up, which admittedly is not high off the ground, and points and shouts. I don't want the responsibility of being only one of two people.
I say
Oh,
yeah.
Do they look like they're coming to harm?
Anyone that's running towards you looks like they're coming to harm you.
No, it looks like they're running and afraid.
Oh,
let's cool it. Yeah.
I was about to say that's good enough justification to me. Eldritch Blast.
Well, why don't we cool our murder hobo tendency over there, Snort?
Ooh.
Fine, if they attack. That's 10 gold.
You're just gonna charge?
Stupid decisions need repercussions.
I think the repercussion would be getting attacked.
What do the running folks?
Let's see.
Every turn that I'm not attacking, I'm casting True Strike. Get ready for it. You just see me mumbling like eldritch, like a language.
Again and again and again.
I imagine your casting language isn't actually Eldritch, but it's just Spice Girl lyrics.
If you want to be my lover.
No, it's just like, so tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. But it sounds like you're casting some
a bunch of like. But yeah, I gotcha.
All right, they draw closer. You see that they're unarmed. They run, and they're coming straight towards the party at the camp. So you guys are all like around that nice big fire, cooking some bugs, and they're coming straight towards you guys. The humanoid one, who isn't a frogman, starts flailing his arms, and he's like, hey, 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 and he's like trying to get your attention.
He's got it.
Hello?
Let's see. They stop in front of you guys. They're completely out of breath. The frogman's like saying something. He's like sit down. He's like over. He's kind of big and he's like sweating. I guess frogs don't really sweat.
Looks
This
extra.
one does.
He's
Looks
exacerbated.
Like not a frog. His secret's out.
Got him. Book him, boys.
Blast his head off.
Let's see. The humanoid appears to be an elf of some kind. He's like
Oh,
he's like
never mind.
you're animals. He's like you're. He looks. He's like your donkey. He's like I'll give you 5 gold pieces, no questions. He's like in his hand. He has big coins in his hand.
Oh, there
Are
must
they
be
Yuanti coins?
They are Yuanti coins.
What are you running to? Questions.
Yeah, hit him with some questions if you got him. He wants to. He's not sure who owns it, but I imagine everybody will like look at Clang because everybody knows it's Clang's ass. So he's like 5 gold coins. He's like for your donkey. He's like we gotta get out of here.
Why?
And he says because I need it because my friend is overweight, and he like points at the frogman. The frogman has like a handkerchief rubbing his head.
What are you running from?
Yes.
He's like I don't got time. He's like over the hill. There's like a whole bunch of Yuanti.
Well, they're gonna be
right.
on us as soon as you leave, so.
Before we give you that thing, answer me this. Have you got any gin?
Or a bow?
No,
He's
that's
like-
not helpful.
You just want because he's an elf.
I mean, I'm not going to be racist or anything, but I'm just asking
Let's
for
see.
a friend.
They're basically wearing burlap sacks with a rope around it. He's like, I don't have anything. He's like, I was a slave. He's like, that guy was a slave. He points to the frog, and the frog like raises his hand every time he gets pointed at.
Then how'd you get all this gold?
He's like, the Yuanti attacked and overturned the cart. I grabbed all this gold, and now I'm here. He's like, that was like 10 minutes ago. He's like breathing. He's like, give me that donkey.
I say you can either stay or you can keep running, but you're not getting.
Let's see. He's like, forget it. And he looks at the frogman, and the frogman, he like points at the frogman. He's like, we're out of here. And frogman's like, oh, and so they're just gonna sprint off into the woods.
Can I try and like calm him down, persuade him to stick with us? That it's safer?
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. Whoa. If you keep running, you're gonna die. You can't run forever, and Yuanti are quite fast. Which I don't actually know, but I'm assuming. They can't run forever. Stick with me, it's safe.
They both stop basically over by the Shrek's camp is basically separate from the other camp, and the guy turns around, the frogman stops. He's like, I got a friend nearby. He's like, we're gonna run and we're gonna stay there. And he's like, well, my friend is a friend. He points to the frogman. The frogman raises his hand.
Such a good gag.
And you'll bring the Yuanti raining down on your friend? Why do you need that much gold anyway if you're just going to your friends?
He looks at you weird. He's like, this frog came out of the slaver's cart, not the Yuanti.
Then why are the Yuanti chasing you?
They were for the Yuanti. You remember the Yuanti were looking for like strong, big people they were buying? We fought the slavers in the tavern.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I threw a cup at them.
Yep, okay.
We were beating up rich people. It's okay.
Yeah.
They say that they'll stay, but they're like, if the Yuanti show up, they're just gonna start running again. They don't even know if they're being chased. They think the battle's still going on. The slavers and the Yuanti were going at it.
How far away were they?
He says it's a 10-minute run down that road. He points at a crook in the road.
Well, you'll be safer with us.
I can promise that.
Probably.
Check this out. Hey, Gensha.
The slavers and the Yuan-Ti definitely won't.
Is John not here?
You have
Oh.
my word on that.
Oh,
What's your name?
Oops. One second. Let me at crab person then. Oh, this guy's name is Josiah.
I really wanted to ask their names. Then I got scared. Oh, snort.
And what about the other one, the frog?
The frog. Oh, he doesn't speak common, so he's like, "Frog, that is bully," and the frog just raises his hand when he gets pointed at.
Still huffing.
He says that the frogman doesn't speak common. He's like, "I don't speak frogman, but I know he's my friend. He said so."
I'm crying.
Scribble out bully's name. Thanks. Well, enjoy some of our food. We caught some big centipedes.
He looks at him. He's like, "Don't you guys got like rations or something, like elf bread?" Some guys, and then the Shrek's like, "I got elf bread." And he like reaches in. He's like, "Somewhere."
I'm sure you'll find it. I'll be more alert, and I'll try to be hiding by the trail we came down to see if we can catch them off guard, if anyone. Okay.
So the party wants to set an ambush for the Yuan-Ti.
Well, I mean, everyone can keep eating if they want, but I will, and then I'll alert.
I will note that these guys said that they were not being chased, to their knowledge.
Yeah, but like whoever, like if they're two fighting, they'll probably take this road because it's one of the like better roads, right?
Correct.
We're camped on it, so it's just in case.
Okay. Does the party want to do anything else, or ask Josiah or Bully anything else?
I point at Bully.
He raises his hand.
Yeah.
Show me
I
your leg.
continue to do this periodically through the night.
No.
Yes.
Cab, show me your leg.
Oh yeah, I showed my leg.
He looks really excited, then he looks really scared when he realizes that you're not a frog person, you got a frog leg. Josiah tells you, he's like, "That doesn't sit well with the gods."
He's
Probably
like, the
not.
gods done what took it from me. How do you know any of that stuff's real? Here, drink this.
Oh, he can't drink. He's a religious person.
Oh, what god do you believe in?
The god.
Let's see. Okay, so he tells you, it's actually kind of complicated, so you bring it up. So he's actually part of a sect of religious elves who like live here on this island in a colony in the north. And they believe that everybody is actually the same soul in a different time period. And he says that you and I are brothers, as in, no, not the brothers. You and him are the same person. And that as
So
you move
you
through
and
the world, we're all learning and stuff. Every time we get reincarnated as a new person.
So you and Bully point at Bully.
Looks at Bully. Bully raises his hand.
Are the same person?
He's like, yes. He's like, this could be a younger me or an older me. He's like, we're not sure. What we're waiting for is the first me and the last me.
And what happens then?
But after we find if we find our first me, then we have to take care of them because it said the first me is killed too early to learn the true wisdom, so they have to keep coming back. And
what
when
happens if you find the last me?
they say the last me has a different problem, where the last me will lead them to salvation, because after that they don't need any more lives. So anybody who's living in the same time frame, you all go to heaven or something.
So you're like a middle me?
I'm a middle me. He's like, we're all middle me's. And he just kind of, starts hugging the bird boy. He's like, we're all middle me's. Even this guy, whatever he is.
Does he have any bugs on him?
He's been a slave for like a couple weeks, so yeah.
I'm gonna eat those bugs.
We are a strange group.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Crunch.
Let's see.
I don't
Anything
know why
else?
you think we're strange, middle me. And I point at Bully.
Bully raises his hand. Josiah tells you they call him Menaus. He's like, we're all Menaus is what it's called.
You mean minnows?
No, he's like, me now is basically what it is.
Oh.
It's a me now. Marley just appears.
But
How
there's
do you
one
know
of the
Bully's name is Bully. Points at Bully twice.
Bully raises one hand on the other hand. He looks, he's like, well, I don't know what Bully's spoken tongue name is, but it sounded a bit like that. Or that he's also a giant frogman.
I tell him that Bully is my favorite.
He's like, Bully is one of our better Menaus.
Oh, he's in the same religion as you?
He looks at Bully, he's like, I don't think so, but we're all the same soul, right?
So does that mean I'm in the same religion? What about
like-
clerics?
He's like, you all are. And he looks at, he's like, he just looks, he's like, everybody else is wrong except for us. They just don't know it.
Pardon me, gotta go check.
Oh. Well, that's kind of comforting once you know that, huh?
He's like, isn't it great? There's one other thing I gotta mention about this guy. This guy has the same golden blonde hair as another character you've seen, but you can only place it if you guys can make a good insight check.
It's the lady in the village. The older lady
21.
that takes, it's either the older lady that takes care of all the children, but I think she's dead now. So it's the child. It's the child lady. But I will roll insight because I just remembered that I have points in it.
Nice cult loser.
Whispered. He looks at you, he's like,
Accurate.
I see you're one of the bad Menaus. It's okay. We get better.
I'm hiding in the road, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
I'm gonna ask him if he has a child.
Knew it.
Oh no, he doesn't have any children. He and his caravan were attacked a couple days ago. Also, Benny, you're right. It is that little girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says his caravan was attacked just after leaving High Cliff, and the slavers captured them, separated the women and the children, and they took the women and the children someplace else and took all the strong men into slavery with them, and just had them abandon their carts on the side of the road.
And you
Yikes.
met Bully
So
there.
those
Points
were-
at Bully.
Grown man.
No, Bully was kidnapped earlier. And Bully raised
Did
his
he
hand.
raise his hand?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why all those carts were on the side of the road empty.
Should be taller. Fuck you, whiny lady. That butt.
Yes, he's like,
Someone
oh, you
just
saw our
swear in the
carts.
background and we got demonetized.
Is John just gone? John just spilled bacon all down his chest again?
He spilled bacon all over himself and he's like, I'm done for the night.
But yeah, Josiah's like, oh, you found our carts? Were they still okay? Were all our expensive cloths still in there?
Hello?
Josiah, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, can you hear Cutie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Josiah, I want you to look at me when I say this to you.
Looks
I
at
don't
you.
remember at all what you're talking about. But I think that Bully points at Bully, and I should go for a drink.
Bully raises his hand. Bully doesn't know what you're saying, but whenever you smile, he also smiles. He just is a foreigner. you guys are all foreigners, but it feels like he's in a foreign land because he doesn't speak common, of course.
I'm gonna ask Josiah if he has a little sister.
He says that he does have a little sister and that they were on the cart with him.
Hey, Taryn,
Yeah.
can you cast comprehend languages on me?
I don't believe so. One moment.
Can you cast it on yourself?
I just don't have the spell.
Oh.
I do.
Is I think what I'm gonna come out with.
Oh, I knew one of you did. Can you cast it on me so I can talk to Bully?
I'm in a hiding spot, and I'd be very
All right. Does the party want to do anything else? Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions for these two characters?
I don't think I do.
If you want to, Ben, I can go.
I want to talk to him.
Let's see how good my deception? Yeah, you don't find me.
Dang it.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's stealth.
He's still pretty well hidden. He's very drunk.
I'll fucking find you. I swear to God I will. I'll find you and give you a hug and make you erase all those names.
So does the party want to rest for the night?
E.
That sounds like a good plan.
All right. Is the goblin gonna keep watch for the whole night?
Yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll sleep on the wagon ride if I have to.
All right.
I'll have Frank like chomp on me with his pincers if I fall asleep.
Nice. All right. So I'm gonna check my notes. All right, Snort. Make a perception check.
Let's see. Nice. Nailed.
This is so fucking true, though.
I wish we had Gensha for this too, because this would be important for Gensha.
Where is
Where in the
John?
world did Gensha go?
It's funny because we can hear Caitlin in the background, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just mention Caitlin?
The person like, oh, that would be good for storage. Not a break.
Ticky ticky tack, ticky ticky tack.
Man, those are brightly colored. Those is brightly colored. 500.
Maybe if we just yell loud enough, they'll hear us.
That's okay. We'll just roll on without it. All right, Snort. You don't seem to notice or hear anything throughout the entire night. The jungle is very noisy in itself, so you don't hear anything completely suspicious, but you hear lots of weird animals that you hear every night.
Well, I'll kind of like still scout around. As
All right. Okay, everybody else make perception checks.
Nice, I fail.
Not a bright moment.
All right, gonna whisper cab.
I wake up and look at my chest.
All right, you look at your chest. There is a snake glaring back at you. Its tongue sisses at you menacingly. You're just gonna go back to sleep?
20. Do I know what kind of snake it is?
You do. You know it's a poisonous viper that you're familiar with because you've seen somebody get bit in it on a drinking trip you took earlier before you met the party. That person almost died.
All right, dexterity save to grab it behind its neck.
All right.
Of course.
All right. As you start reaching for it,
19 on my nature check.
as you reach for it, you look and you realize that there's about 6 of them all over your body and on the ground around you. And there's also on the other party members. You can barely see them in the smoldering little bit of the fire as it's going out.
Okay, who's closest to me?
Probably Taryn.
I
Hello.
whisper to Taryn.
Am I asleep or am I awake?
You're asleep.
Okay.
So, gosh, I don't know what it would be to awaken you.
Make a will save to stay asleep.
Yeah, that sounds fair, actually. Go with that.
That's what I usually do.
Okay. Do I want high will or low will?
Do you want to be asleep or awake?
I think I'd like to wake up. It seems reasonable.
All right, you're able to wake up after Cab is prodding you. You can't. He wants your attention.
What?
Don't freak out.
Okay. What'd you
But we are
do?
covered with poison. I didn't do anything. We're covered with poisonous snakes.
Do I feel like I am covered with poisonous snakes?
You do. There's at least 4 of them on your body. You can feel them moving. It's very
I'm
distraughting.
not crazy.
Not bad. I got just the spell for this. It's called Reverse Poisonous Snakes, and I barely don't freak out. What are you doing awake? And how did they get here?
The snake sat on my chest, and I was like, "What's this?" And then I had to go up to get to pee, and then I found the snake on my chest. And I still have to pee. Darren, what are we gonna do?
Are you standing like right next to me?
I'm laying down next to you.
Okay, but you're pretty tough. Would you classify yourself as a tough person?
Yeah, I'm really good under pressure. Look, I'm not freaking out at all. Hold up my hand, and it's not shaking.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Are they like regularly sized snakes, or are they like D&D large snake nonsense?
There are a variety of sizes. The biggest one is on Cab's chest, and it's just like sitting there looking at him, basically. It's very bright red and scary, but you can only tell in like the fading moonlight.
But like, is it an unreasonable, like, can you give me like a width size?
None of them are more than 2.5 inches around.
Okay, I cast Thunder Wave.
All right.
That'll wake people up.
Next,
I like explode in an outward sonic blast. You will take damage, I am afraid. But also, the snakes on you will take damage.
That's fine.
All right. What kind of damage does he take? Is it a save?
It is, I'm reading it now. It's a Constitution save. On a fail, 2d8 thunder damage and pushed 10 feet away from me. But, you know, on a successful save, half damage, not pushed.
Snakes make it and Cab doesn't.
Blast all the snakes off of you?
Yeah, Snake Blasters. That's going to be the name of our band.
Alright. We gotta live to keep it that way, though, I think. The DC is 3 plus 2 plus 8. 13.
Let's see. Some of the snakes manage to stay on. So I imagine the rest of the party is now awoken. If Snort wants to hear it, make a perception check yourself.
I explode!
Yeah, just you blow up.
The snake up.
Let's see. As you explode, I imagine there's like a thunderous, abrupt noise, and like snakes fly everywhere. I imagine like the Birdman sits up and a snake like hits him across the eyes like a sock or a blindfold,
Yep.
and then immediately Cab is bitten twice.
Ouch.
Mostly by that one big snake and a smaller snake that was on your leg and bit you on your frog leg. Josiah, you can hear him like he's like freaking out. He's like, "Oh, there's snakes everywhere!" And he's like pushing his back up against a tree. You hear a voice that you don't know, and it's like, "Don't move."
Oh, I bet it's Yuantis. They love snakes.
Let's see. Out from the shadows of the trees, there's a couple of figures that kind of lean out as if they were always there, but now they are visible.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. You can't really see them. You can only see like their glowing eyes reflected off the moonlight. And Taryn, you can see at least 8 of them, and 2 of them appear to be no, at least half of them appear to have arrows, bows drawn and pointed at the party.
Guys, we have to kill these people. I
Why?
need that bow.
Oh,
Also, I don't want to die, but I think they
I'm
have
just
to
gonna-
drop on us.
Not move.
Yeah, I too will not move, I guess, after exploding.
All right. Does I guess Gensha is like super asleep. How about I think Gensha and Snort might both be in the same ambush. That would make more sense to me
okay.
because it's hard to act for Gensha when she's not here because Gensha has a prideful character and I would only ever use that to mess up my own story. So does Bird Boy want to do anything?
I'm gonna loudly proclaim Sneeple and request to heal Cab or to check Cab for snake bites.
Oh, well, you clearly saw him get. Well, I guess you didn't see him because you had snake fly in your face.
I tell.
I heard him yell loudly.
Ouch, oof, I've been bitten by at least 2 snakes.
Yeah. Something like that.
Let's see. Out of the bushes comes one of them. Its upper body is like extremely muscular. Its lower body is like a snake. Its head is also like a snake. It's very very much snake-like. And as it slithers out towards you, it's tall. It's like 8-9 feet tall. It has bright red, yellow, and blacks on it. It's like a coral snake, and it has these 2 big swords. It's just very menacing looking in the moonlight.
It just sounds
I agree,
fucking
Jim.
radical.
Let's see. It's going to come from directly behind Cab, basically.
It's a person, like a Yuanti, or like an animal.
Oh, it's a Yuanti.
Okay.
I have a scientific. It's in my black. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll just address probably Taryn and also Clang. The 2 other heroes are nearby, but they're also sitting there. The Yuanti looks at you and is like, "Are you slavers?"
Wait, they ask us if we're slavers?
Yep.
No, we aren't slavers.
They want to know if
Why?
you've seen any slavers.
No, though we heard of some recently. We got slaves from people running away from slavers, and we, have been protecting them since.
Let's see. The Yuan-Ti looks back and like seems to be like communicating with one of the other Yuan-Ti in the bushes. Then it looks at you and is like, which one of you is the escaped slave?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why does that matter? What are you gonna do? Take him?
Let's see. He's like, we don't want your inferior blood. We just want answers.
Well, what kind of questions are you asking?
He like looks around. Let me see if you can make a good check on that. No. I can't tell who isn't a slave. He comes up to it kind of slithers over, almost like past Cab. Like the thickness of its like snake tail is probably like 3.5 feet of thick snake.
Nice.
It gets closer to the bird person. It like sheathes one of its swords and like it reaches down at you.
Okay.
Like grabs you by the shoulder and it's like, where did you get these coins? And on the other hand, it has like a bag of coins. The Yuan-Ti coins.
Okay. We beat up some guys in a bar and took them. They're Yuan-Ti coins, right? Would you like them back?
I am back.
Let's see. This person, make an insight check.
Who, me?
Oh no, sorry. Clang was doing a conversation. Also, it might be hard to communicate like that. This character is very scary. Like this character is very menacing. They could probably eat you whole.
That's true.
With your insight, you can't really tell super much, but you do notice one thing. There we go. Whispered. All right. It's like the Yuan-Ti's like, we don't care about the coins. Who gave them the coins? Who gave you these coins?
I'm gonna tell them about the slavers in the bar that we beat up.
Okay. That's good information. Does Taryn have anything else to add?
No. Well, Taryn will just kind of echo or parrot his friend's story.
All right. Does Cab have anything?
I ask him if he can get the snakes off of me.
Let's see. When he turns to you, he just waves his hand and the snakes scatter.
All right. Now I will tell you everything I know.
You're also being poisoned by snakes.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh
no. Okay, so we met a bunch of slavers at a tavern. They were flinging gold around here and there. So of course we took a drink from them, and then they explained what they were doing. One of our party members did not agree with them, and we had to back them up, as is human code. And since then, we've been looking for you and some other legendary heroes to help with an infection that's happened nearby in one of the towns.
Let's see. This Yuan-Ti looks confused that you're talking about enlisting help for that, right? From the Yuan-Ti is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this Yuan-Ti almost looks confused and starts like communicating back with some other ones. There's like several more come out of the bushes and come closer. They're not all the same. Many of them are tall or large. They're all look like bodybuilders. They're shredded to a T. many of them have like leather armor on, but some of them aren't fully snake. Some of them are just like a human with like snake-like features, and others are like fully very much like a snake. Like they have a snake head and a snake lower body. They all look very nasty and dangerous.
I explained to them that I meant no offense in what I said, but merely that being from the general culture, we know very little about the Yuan-Ti and especially their medicine practices, and we had heard that you were both very secretive and esoteric about your things. So we were hoping if perhaps your medicine could help aid some of our comrades who have been infected.
Let's see. A different Yuan-Ti asks you, says, you're a diplomatic party.
In a way, yes.
Well,
Though we may not seem it, we are quite rough around the edges.
let's see. After you say that, Josiah speaks. He tells you that he saw that another slave told him where they got some coins, or where some coins were exchanged for some other slaves. And the Yuan-Ti are very interested in Josiah. And the Yuan-Ti who was originally talking says that we can't make that kind of decision. He says you should come with us.
Sounds like a plan. We would be honored.
Mm-hmm.
But cure him of his poisoning, please. As Cab's doctor, I am not only concerned for his liver all the time, but I don't want to be concerned for the rest of him either.
All right, so let's see. The rest of the Yuan-Ti come out. There is like 10 Yuan-Ti in all, and then like some of them are strange. Some of them are actually like kobolds. They're like kobold snake people, and there's humanoid snake people, and one of them almost looks like an orcish snake person. The rest are all very much like what you'd picture for Yuan-Ti, in that they're like snake lower bodies, snake heads.
Oh, like Naga?
Yeah, they're like Naga. Let's see. They talk in some language you don't understand, unless you speak Abyssal.
Oh,
I do not. Oh, actually, I might.
see, I might as well.
Nope, just Dwarven.
For some reason, I only speak in Goblin.
The only language you need. Not even common?
Nope. No common. It's a
Speaking
miracle you've
Dwarven 'cause
gotten
they
this
make the
far.
best booze.
Let's see. After they speak, two of the Yuan-Ti are standing there. They're the Nagas, and they're very large and powerful looking. One of them is like almost completely green, and then the one you originally talked to is a big coral snake, basically. They introduce themselves. The big coral snake is Mira, and the smaller snake is Kronos.
I would say pleasure to meet you. I am known as Cab. And these are my compatriots who can introduce themselves.
I'm Terran.
I imagine the rest of the party introduce themselves. Heroes introduce themselves. Snort, Gensha, who I imagine is like there's like an NPC thing over her face when she's not here.
Yeah, I say I'm Snort because I go by bully with my dagger.
Let's see. Mira makes it clear that she's in charge, and that if it had been the old way, I would have killed your leader and assumed authority over your group. Blame this one. And he points at the smaller green Naga.
Wait, quick question, just really quick. Who did you consider our group's leader to be Go?
They all point at the orc. All the Yuan-Ti point at the orc. One of the kobolds points at the Birdman.
Squawk.
Wait,
Damn
sorry.
it! Alright,
I
alright,
swear.
fine.
What was the question?
Who did the Yuan-Ti think the leader was?
Mm-hmm.
None of them pointed at me?
Or me. And I'm asking the question.
I was so
Why do
smooth.
you wanna be-
I want to look super annoyed at their response, but not say anything.
But yeah, it's probably Gensha. When asked, I also point at Gensha.
Let's see. They're gonna hit Josiah with a bunch of questions. Josiah tells them a story about another slave who told him a story where a bunch of the muscular slaves, a man came in a cloak. You couldn't see what he looked like. He was in this drapey, dark cloak, and he pointed at certain slaves that he wanted, and then he sent the rest away, and he exchanged in Yuan-Ti gold.
No, I hope that wasn't the Wanderer.
Let's see. The Yuan-Ti say that you should just leave your mounts here. They say that they're inferior and that you should ride on their mounts. They'll take you back to their city where you can speak to somebody who's in charge.
I asked them what riding configuration would they prefer.
Oh, they show you. When they go behind the bushes, it was only like 20 yards from where you were.
All right, cool.
What mounts do they have?
They pull back the bushes. There are these huge bearded dragons with long legs.
Nice.
Dibs. I run for one.
Let's see. When you get close, they hiss at you, but they seem very friendly.
Oh, awesome.
Let's see. There are 7 of them, and they're like a bunch of people sit per one. It's almost like a bus back-to-back seating.
Still cool.
Let's see. So, party want to go with them?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. They say that they can't reveal where their place is, and they ask you to put these bags over your heads.
I do so immediately.
Without any prompting.
They just they take out a bag and they don't even ask it yet, and the bag's already over my head.
All right.
I will, but can I have Frankie remain invisible?
Sorry, I cut out. What was that?
I'll put the bag on my head, but can I have Frankie remain invisible and tell me where we're going?
Yes. Does anybody else want to do anything? Birdman, does anybody want to do anything at camp? Josiah agrees because he has to go and testify this information apparently, and he's like, I was afraid of you, Auntie, and he's like, now they're coming, they're taking me someplace. He's like, my day's been all over the place.
Cab's like, I hear you, Taryn.
All right, everybody want to mount up and leave with them? Anybody need anything else? They want to leave your mount there.
I guess.
I don't have any attachment, but I can take my stuff with me, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, Josiah says that Bully should just stay here and watch your animals because he's an animal caretaker.
Oh, I point at Bully.
Bully raises his hands, both of them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Josiah attempts to indicate this, so he will watch your mounts for you. The way he tries to talk to Bully, he doesn't try to speak any other language. He speaks common, but very slowly to Bully. And Bully doesn't understand what he's saying, but he just kind of nods a bunch.
I'm going to give Bully one of the checks.
What are you going to give him?
One of LeCheck's knives.
All right.
Wait, hey, can you cast Comprehend Language on other people, Morgan?
Yeah.
You should just cast it on Bully so we can tell him what we want him to do.
Why would I do that when we can eavesdrop on?
You can just cast it twice.
Fine. I
Also,
cast
I
it
don't want
on.
to leave him out in the cold and he doesn't know what's going on.
It's okay. I'll cast Comprehend Languages on Bully.
All right. Bully
Go
doesn't
ahead.
know you've done this because he doesn't speak common.
Oh.
I tell him that you're to watch our animals until we return. Understood?
He jumps back, and he's just so frightened that he can understand, right?
Yeah.
He's like, begast my ears. He's like, they speaketh my tongue.
He can't speak, though.
Yeah, I don't understand frogs.
Wait, so he only understands what you're saying?
Yeah.
Correct.
I tell him, do you understand? Nod if you understand.
I point to him.
he understands and he raises his hands and he nods.
Yes.
All right. I give him the dagger, and then I go on the.
Let's see. After that, the animals are there. They mount you up on these bearded dragons, and they put the bags over their heads. And they go oof, and like they squeeze their legs around it like some kind of big horse, and they take off, and they are fast. You guys are like have to be like strapped in to hold on with the bags in your heads. It's almost disorienting.
Is Frankie in the direction?
Yeah, Frankie's just holding on. Imagine he's like holding onto the top of the bag like he's some giant hairdo, but he's invisible. Let's see. As you guys are going, does anybody want to break it up? Or you guys probably all be on one, actually, theoretically, except for Genshu would have to be on a separate one. So you're all riding on the same one as Kronos, the green, not Lambda. Naga. Yes. On the big green Naga, who his entire tail like wraps around the torso of it basically as it runs. He tells you that it's been a long time. He's like a fairly booming deep voice, but he's more chalant than the other Yuan-Ti are. He seems to speak a lot. He's like, it's been a long time since we had diplomatic things. Maybe like 40 years. He says killing the leaders of the settlers and trying to assume authority of them probably didn't help a lot.
Can I
asked him if he was around 40 years ago for that.
Oh no, he's only like 20.
How long do Nagas live?
Well, he tells you that their high priest can live very long. He says the closer you get to our gods, the longer you may live. What else does he tell you? Let's see. He tells you that they've been out here hunting and attacking those slavers, and they're looking for answers in those Yuan-Ti gold. And does he tell you anything else? I guess he'd probably be kind of tight-lipped. He's more interested in your culture, so he'll hit you with a bunch of questions. He's like, what's the state of the city in? What kind of help do you expect from the Yuan-Ti?
I'm going to tell him all about the slug people.
Well, what in particular do you tell him?
The water supply is contaminated with gross slug monster things that take over human bodies. Or surface dweller bodies.
I tell him it is unknown whether or not you are susceptible, but either way, as neighbors, we owe it to each other to warn you about this and see if you, in return, can offer us any aid. Your culture has a much longer history on this continent and may know about these more than any of our people may.
Let's see. He tells you that it's very familiar. He says in their slugs, they're like eels. He says like black like oil.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
Let's see. He tells you that he's a canonizer, so he knows a lot about the lore and religion of their society. He tells you there's something very similar like that in their historical religious texts.
Excellent. And do you think
Hello.
that your culture would be willing to share this knowledge, or
Let's see. He's not sure what you are looking to find, really. But when you said diplomatic party, there's certain standards, so they have to treat you a certain way.
excellent. I do tell him that we appreciate his, I'm not sure how to put it, how polite he is.
He tells you that in the old ways it would not have been like this, but they've recently had a cultural shift. So they've been very the past like 20 or 30 years have been like a cultural renaissance. So it's literally just art and philosophy, poetry, murals.
Nice.
How nice for us.
Yeah, he says if you'd come here 40 years ago, you would have had a bad time.
Well, also I would have been dead. But
I ask him what we can call him.
Oh, well, he tells you that he is an honor guard, so usually you just call him Your Honor, really.
I say it's only fair if we had to introduce ourselves, Your Honor.
He already said his name was Kronos.
It was? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Morgan got played.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does anybody else have any other questions for him? He says the trip isn't super bad, but he's very interested in your culture because he's a canonizer, so he basically works with stuff.
I tell him to lay it on us. That both Taryn and I are very culturally wise.
that is true. I'm very culturally educated.
Let's see. He's very interested in your crime and punishment society, especially like how the colonists are. He's like, are they all prisoners? He's like, are they all criminals? What crime gets you put here?
Well, we can't.
I think you cut out, Benny. Or he just dropped his mic.
Sorry, I sat on my mic. I explained that not everyone is a criminal, as some people are born here from people who were sent as criminals, leading to a mixed population. But originally, people were sent here as punishment, as a penitentiary.
From what I saw, it was very caste-based. You were either part of the guards or you were the rest.
And most people were the rest.
Let's see. Kronos finds that super interesting. He's like, very interesting. He's like, what about your religious differences? He's like, how do you settle differences?
Mostly violence.
Oh, we're the same.
I tell him that most people are more concerned with finding food than they are with their neighbors' religious beliefs.
Which doesn't mean that it doesn't come up.
It's true, but it's a struggle from what we've seen so far before everything went to crap with the slugs, was that there was very little food and water available.
Yes, and some people are here, and I've met a couple people who are here in self-exile.
Let's see. He finds that really interesting. He wants to know like more about your political structure, but he asks you a lot of like strange questions. Like when you tell him about people breeding with other people who were prisoners, he's like, doesn't that just make them weaker? He's like, obviously a prisoner must be violent and strong.
Well, you'd think that, but I'm not all that strong, and I'm mostly violent.
How would that make them weaker if they're strong?
He says
he means mentally. I assume you mean in the way of a moral standing.
He means pure physical. He's like, are the prisoners breeding, or are they breeding with other people? Because that's what he made it sound like.
Well,
I'd assume that they bred with other prisoners, and that's how you got the new natives.
He's always like focused on strength. He's like, oh, that must make their spawn quite strong.
They're still under the heel of the guards, though, even if they're not as strong.
That's interesting. Why don't they just breed with the guards then? He asks.
The guards won't let them.
I mean, I'm sure some of the guards have.
Yeah.
It's usually probably non-consensual.
Different values, I'd guess. Like you were saying, those differences. It matters more when you're part of the guard, I guess.
He's like, interesting. So the guards need to keep their blood pure. It's almost like he doesn't understand. He's like, it's obviously about pure blood.
I ask him if he knows stuff other than the island, like the lands beyond.
He tells you that he's never been anyplace else other than the plateau. Oh, he's been off plateau. He's like, I'm pretty worldly. I've been off the plateau, but he's never left the continent.
I tell him about my hometown, like this giant metropolitan city that dwarfs the size of the port we were just at.
Wow, with like all the different races and stuff.
Yeah, just everyone being there, just the stone structures, how high the Bastilles and everything else reach,
and
how deep underground it can go.
Let's see. He tells you that you're going to be quite happily surprised.
Oh.
Let's see. So as you start running, he warns you that as they get to the as they keep moving, the creatures are going to change. That's not a good thing. He tells you that when they run faster, the lizards only run on 2 of their legs.
Wait,
nice.
lizards have legs? Oh, the bearded dragon things.
Yeah.
Correct.
Got it.
So you have to hold on. Let's see. And right after he says that, just about 2 seconds later, they kick upwards. You guys are basically facing the sky because they're running almost completely vertically. And you can smell it. It's like super dry compared to where you guys were in even the savannah. And there's like sand getting in your teeth.
Wait, even through like the hoods?
Yep, it's like coming up and under.
Well,
Does he have any other questions?
Well, he says that he has a lot more for you. He's like, I got so many questions. He's like, these ideas are great. He's like, I can help canonize things. He tells you what a canonizer is. His day job, he's a canonizer, but he is the honor of being an honor guard. So this is part of his job. But as a canonizer, when they merge other societies into his, they have to work it out so that all the religions fit together, but their stories don't make sense together. Like there is always like one big god, he says, but it's really just one god or something. Or he's like, sometimes I'll write it so they're like this. So he has to make them all work together.
They only believe in one god?
No, in their tongue, Yuan Ti actually means people of 1,000 gods.
oh.
They say their cultural revolution was brought on by their assimilation of a group of very peaceful artisans, and then their society basically altered a lot and became like a religious center.
Gotcha.
Let's see. After about another hour of running, sorry, I know this is a lot of like prologue and talking, but after another hour of running, the creatures finally calm down, and they tell you can remove your masks, not masks, hoods.
I do so.
Sure.
Seems like the right move.
Well, so.
Let's see. In front of you is a lot of rural communities. It looks like there's a lot of farms here. It looks like there's like a nice oasis. Behind you, there's only open desert as far as your eyes can see. In front of you, there's a huge ziggurat. It's massive. It's like a city built on top of a ziggurat, basically. And then all around it is like all these farms and rural places. And you see them. There's lots of humanoid snake people. There's lots of like Naga-style snake people all over the place. And even like kobold, and, like small people. Like there's lots of like almost sub-races built into their snake people.
I ask, are any of the artisans still around?
Well, they tell you that they're here. They're all here, and they say that we're all one. And they like mentions to motions to all the different snake people. He's like those people and those people, and he's like some of those were from the artisan bloodlines.
I ask him if he has a caste system based on physical traits.
Let's see. They dismount outside of this big wall, and he tells you about it. He's like, not quite. He's like, Yuanti society is based on physical traits, but more about how you use them. He says everybody who has a position got it by killing somebody else. And he says that in Yuanti society, unlike yours, which you've explained to him, murder isn't illegal. It's actually a right.
Murder is a right, eh?
I like this place.
We're all gonna die here.
Why? We don't have any positions.
That's true, but I want one.
Seems like more trouble than it's worth.
Let's see. They're going to have to get the gates open because they need special permission to bring in outsiders because this hasn't happened in like 40 years. But while you guys are out there, a bunch of like Yuanti children, horrifying snake children, are out and about. It's about morning hours now, so there's lots of people out and about working their fields in the early hours. And children run up to you and they're like have like flowers and like these weird wreath things they keep trying to give you guys.
I take one.
I'll take one as well. I want
Alright.
flowers.
Same.
Does anybody else not take one?
I won't take one, but I'll give one of the daggers I took from Lashank.
She's gonna give a child a dagger?
Yeah.
What if they stab them? Daggers
Whoa.
teach important
You
lessons.
just
What if
heard
they
him.
stab themselves? That is
They're
an
not gonna
important lesson.
They're not gonna stab themselves. They're gonna stab someone important.
Snort fits too well into this culture.
Secretly a snake person the whole time.
Sneeple.
Snort was short for Sneeple.
Let's see. They come back and they open these big sandstone gates, like these big stone gates pulled by these large egg-stealing dinosaurs, and they allow you into the city. Mira tells you that it's the time of a festival, and that's why they're handing out those snakeskin wreaths.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
All right, so they tell you they're going to take you to they have to set up a meeting with their head of state in order to do this. So they have to get another honor guard before they can meet him. So you have to climb the ziggurat with them, which is like 150 steps.
I'm gonna have Gensha carry me.
It's a lot of
I'll walk.
steps.
It's much easier for the snake people because they just move their tail and slide up the stairs, so they don't even sweat as they go up. You notice a lot of the society on the inside of the ring, when it gets less rural, there's lots of artisans. People are filling the streets even this early. There's people like doing colored chalk. People are painting murals on the sides of buildings. People are like have like fresh vegetables everywhere and all sorts of strange dried meats. Everybody is like a weird snake person.
This place is awesome.
Unless you don't like snakes.
Oh, yeah, true.
Then
Can
it's
I
probably a
cast
nightmare.
comprehend language on myself to eavesdrop on any conversation?
Of course.
All right. Do our guards say anything in what they were speaking?
Let's see. The more human-looking Yuanti that you're now walking with, a lot of them are disbanded. So basically now it's just Kronos, Mira, and like two of the more humanoid ones. They're called half-bloods. And what they are talking about is they're like, I can't wait to assimilate that bird person. And some guys like the other one's like, yeah, me too. Our spawn will be the strongest.
Gross.
Oh my! They want a bone.
Yeah, they're very obsessed with his feathers, and they keep talking about it. Mira mentions to Kronos in Abyssal, he's like, we shouldn't have brought them. We should have, he's like, it should have been like the old way. And then Kronos is like, Mira, you can't talk like that. No, 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 no. And he like puts his fingers over his ear holes.
Guys, I think we almost got murdered.
What else is new?
Mira's super not PC.
I do tell playing about how they're interested in him.
I tell you that I want to learn their snake people magics.
Well, that might be a good way then.
Pelvic sorcery.
It's a somatic component.
That was good.
let's see. After you guys finally climb to the top of the steps, the sun is starting to get high in the sky. The other heroes stopped and got drinks on the way up because it was so warm. From the ziggurat, you can where you guys are near the top, you can see the entire city. It's massive. It's way bigger than Highcliff, and there's so many people living so close near this like nice oasis in the desert. They want you to wait. Oh,
okay.
sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say this is quite impressive.
Let's see. Kronos tells you wait until you see the underground.
There's a lot of stabbing.
Let's see. They tell you this is Taileb, which is like their southern capital. Is there anything else about it? They want you to wait here. They have to go and get the other honor guard and talk him into setting this meeting up because it's kind of pain in the butt for him. And they said, in the meantime, you should really wear these. And they hand you these really crude-looking wooden masks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can
Does it fit
I
over my
They look
beak?
like-
It will not fit over your beak.
wear it
Can you
anyway?
describe them to me?
Yeah, they're they're crudely made but high quality of some kind of very nice wood. Kronos tells you that if you don't want to be assimilated, that you need to wear these.
I ask what assimilated means.
Let's see. He like smiles a bunch. He tells you that our gods have much power in this world, and he says that if you even glimpse at them, you will slowly become assimilated. And he says it is the same for the high priests.
Okay,
I'll take a mask.
Sure.
He says assimilation will make you into a snake person, basically, is how he explains it.
Is there anything like written on the inside of the?
No, but the masks feel very magic.
Gross.
I ask if it has to actively cover my face to work.
Has to cover your
Won't fit
eyes.
over my beak. Okay.
Just
Or
wear it
be-
upside down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
One last thing. I asked him if their central god has a name.
Oh well, they have three deities that you're actually going to meet theoretically. All right. Let's see. They go and they close the doors behind them in like this nice. It's like a nice little shack or something. I guess it's fairly nice mud brick and sandstone shack. Everything is very ornate around you. There's like murals painted of big snakes like flying through the sky and like happy people on the ground, and some children nearby are drawing out a pattern they tell you is going to be a mosaic on the ground, and they want you guys to help them draw big snakes.
I will help them draw big snakes.
I will also help. I might be able to draw.
What else? They also dare you to take the bitterant they have. No, not like that. Like not like a mixed drink, but it's a drink that's very bitter.
Oh, I go right for it.
It's
Yes,
non-alcoholic.
That's even better.
I'll also pass. I'm gonna actually set up a ritual for.
I'm sorry, could I usually gonna set up a ritual?
Yeah, I'm gonna set up a ritual to cast comprehend link.
Okay. I imagine you guys draw some nice, awesome, cool snakes.
Brandon, did you get my whisper?
Oh, that was a whisper? Yeah, I opened it up so everybody in the stream can see.
That's what I was thinking of.
Close. That's probably within their canonization. It's just like, because they're based on the Hittites, and that's exactly what the Hittites did also.
Gotcha.
But so after they close the door behind them, you guys play with the kids for a bit, and you can almost hear like them shouting in abyssal at each other. It sounds like.
What are they saying?
It sounds like the other honor guard does not want to do the thing, but the other ones convince him to do whatever they want.
All right.
Let's see. Finally, they reappear and they tell you that you can go to these lower districts, lower sections with them, where they'll summon their gods, and that you will stand with them and tell them exactly what you want, that you want you to help with, and that they are great and wise and the most powerful.
Okie dokie.
Anybody have any questions or anything else for them, or anything with the children, or anything you guys need to do before you want to go with them?
I ask, what is a good way to show respect?
They say that you should put your face on the ground, wherever it is, where you bow.
Prostate. No.
Yep.
Prostrate.
Yeah, see, I almost messed that up too.
Just show them your prostate and you'll be good.
Yeah, they tell you should do that and stay in that position. He says you shouldn't look at them, but you can. It's because you're diplomatic. They'll let you get away with a lot. But that these creatures are all knowing and powerful, he says. All right, I actually have a panel for this one, so let me go find it. All right, so they lead you through a big set of gates from the top of the area, and you start descending all these stairs down into the ziggurat until it starts getting like cold almost because you're getting so low and the stairs are so steep, until suddenly it opens up and there's this huge ravine and it looks like lights coming up from the bottom. There's like a river that glows at the bottom, and there's an inverted ziggurat floating above it, basically attached to the ceiling. I put it in the roll 20 so everybody can see my doodle.
I like that the lower one is like a derpy snake.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's super cool.
Good
Very
shit,
cool.
babe.
Yeah, what else? There's a strong breeze. Light comes up from the bottom. There's a bunch of inverted ziggurats along with the stalactites, and they take you down this winding path and over to this perilous rope bridge. All the while you're descending, you can smell the moisture of like whatever that water source is down there. Ziggurats have these big windmills. They're making this nice wafting noise. There's a strong, steady breeze. It smells almost like the sea, strangely. Is there anything else? You can hear a gonging, like somebody hitting a large brass bell somewhere in the distance.
Does it look like the water is just like a ground aquifer or something, or is it from a stream? By
It's not clear, but it does have a current. Was there anything else? No, that's good. All right, so they want you to walk across the rope bridge one at a time because it's like a century old.
I'm just fat.
Does anybody have anything they need to do in this water cliffside or anything?
I don't think so.
All right. They take you across the rope bridge over to the ziggurat. They tell you that all the water comes from here. It's just Mira and Kronos now, and they leave the other two humankinds around. That all their water is pumped up from this water source into the city, where they get all the water for their fields.
Are you ready, friendo? I am ready.
very impressive.
What else do you said?
Let's see. You guys enter the ziggurat and you have to climb, like, it's basically a ladder. It's kind of very crude in this section until you get up to the higher ones where it's more like stone. And you're suddenly in this big chamber where there's these 3 like house-sized mats. And also there's a man there hitting a gong. Let's see. He stops when you enter, and then let me whisper something to Cab.
Oh, that's me. I have to say that once a session. In the bylaws.
Uh,
Oh. I bow to him.
let's see. He doesn't pay much attention. He says something. He keeps saying things in Abyssal, and then he'll say them in Common. So he says it first in Abyssal, then in Common. And in Common, he tells you that he is Brutus, the third honor guard.
He's not only seen Jurassic Park, seen Jurassic World, where they actually did the thing. And you know what happened? Hell.
I ask when the leaders will be here.
Nick's like, I can heal from a
Let's
lot
see.
of
He says they'll be here momentarily. He says that only 2 of them can make it. He says that the third one has given him full authority to speak in his stead.
That's not the case.
What do they represent, Brutus?
He says, you will find out soon enough. Soon there's like a rumbling noise almost.
I quickly take out my book and
You're going to read the book?
what?
Oh, names?
Yeah, I'm going to scribble his name.
Alright, after the rumbling intensifies, out of like a hole that in the side of one of the walls, the hole is big enough that you could easily fit 2 buses vertically through it, comes this first like a glint, and then these eyes, then this massive snake comes out of the hole. I'm talking like a snake that could eat like an SUV without like straining its mouth. It could close it around there.
Well, I guess I'll start bowing.
Yep. Seems good. And it's easy for me because I'm not tall.
Close to the ground.
Quick to get to the head, to the floor.
Let's see. There's another hole, and another snake comes out. They both sit on one of the 3 cushions, but there's only 2 snakes, so one of the cushions is empty, and that's the one Brutus goes and stands by, and then each of the honor guards stands by another one. These snakes are massive. I'm talking like 20-foot thick snake.
When they sound like they're settled, I'll stop.
All right. Kronos says that you can plead the case, and that they'll have to translate mostly because these creatures only speak mostly Abyssal. One speaks Common, but it's very broken, he tells you.
Wait, what did they mean, plead the case?
Just ask him what we're gonna ask him.
Do you want me to do it? I have the lowest charisma, though.
I have charisma. If you want, what do we want to ask?
We're asking for their help in our culture. We've been infected, and we need the help of a much more advanced and longer-lived culture such as help us with something. You might also want to know the fact that
You're cutting out.
really
Oh my
You're
god,
breaking
what's
up,
going
Benny.
on?
You said on your mic again?
I don't know. How much of it did you get?
I think I got enough. Don't worry.
I'm very worried, but we'll see how this goes.
Oh, I forgot. They have to introduce them. So the one in the middle that Kronos sits by, that is Doom, and then the one on the right is Bolg.
Bolg?
Yeah, Bolg is a big
Bulge.
coral
Hey,
snake.
you're back.
Hey, hi.
You fall asleep?
No, not at all. Why would I fall asleep in the middle of the game?
I don't know. I've never heard of anyone doing that either. So
It's not like I. It's definitely not like I worked 8 hours after only having like maybe 3 hours of sleep. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to address them, go for it, Taryn.
Great creatures, Doom and Bulge.
Bulge.
Bulge. Bulge?
No, it's not. It's not bulge. It's Bolg, but you should call him Bulge.
BULG.
You had me worried that I got it wrong.
we just kill
The
you.
people
Next.
in our lands are dying from some black worm disease. We come here seeking help of a culture so strong as yours. Question mark?
Oh man, they eat that shit up. That sounds great to them.
I knew it.
Let's see.
With
It takes
some
a while for them to
brains.
say it in Abyssal, though.
What do they say in Abyssal?
When you hear them, it's like almost like startling. Oh, I forgot to mention. Everybody's wearing masks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, then never mind. You guys are fine. The snake charmer. Anyway, they say in Abyssal, the one on your right, I guess, who is a coral snake, he's basically saying that that our culture is mighty and strong, and that everybody could use help from us. Basically, is what he says.
Sounds about right.
But Mira doesn't even translate that. She just translates his question, which is that he's like, how many? He's like, soldiers. How many soldiers do you want?
Uh-oh. I think there's a disconnect. We don't actually want soldiers, do we? Or do we want soldiers?
Oh, we could take
I mean,
soldiers.
yeah, we'll probably take them, but we ask. I'm like, ask them if the black eels in the religious texts. Ask them how to get rid of them.
Okay. Respectfully, almighty ones, we don't know exactly how many soldiers we need because I don't know how many soldiers it will take to defeat the forces that swarm our society. What we could also use, though, is knowledge in medicine in order to treat those who have been infected with the black worm.
Let's see. They talk. The snake creatures are very patient. They're very large, and it seems like it takes them a while to decide on something when they are just like staring blankly. Finally, the one in the middle speaks, Doom, and he says that in a time before time, that these creatures led to the ruin of their original civilization, where they had a capital in the north that was mighty and their society was strong and just.
Okay.
Okay.
Explain to them that the creatures have returned. How did they deal with the creatures then?
What he said.
Okay. Even Kronos is like, yeah, I want to know. He like turns around and asks him, and then when he turns around, he looks upset. He says, "We abandoned the capital and fled to the desert where they could not reach us."
Uh-oh.
Is there no way to beat them then? Almighty Doom and Bold?
Well, basically, they said that the desert's so dry they can't survive here, and that was their solution, was to just cut them all off, cut off the ability for them to reach them. But they say that once they are taken over, it only takes 2 or 3 weeks before they transform, and like Kronos doesn't really know what that word is. He says transform, but he's like, I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what common word there is for that. He says they assimilate.
Oh.
Hmm.
Like you're assimilant?
He's like not sure. He doesn't have enough common words to really translate it. He says that they go through a transformation, and he's like the worm becomes the flying worm.
Metamorphize.
That's the word. So it's not really like they're assimilate. That's your similar word. He had to describe it.
I, while prostrated, say, mighty Doom and great Bolos. I would also like to ask about the magics that you have. You've lived in the desert for generations now. Would you happen to have any mages who are proficient in the magic of desiccation?
Let's see. Bolg does something that you think is laughter, maybe? Like he just opens his mouth a bunch, but no sound comes out. His eyes look almost happy. And Kronos tells you without saying anything, he knows that that they grow sandalwood, and that's what the masks are made out of, and that the sandalwood does deep desiccation damage to these creatures because these creatures are actually from another plane.
I bow again and give my thanks.
I ask what plane if they know that it's
Oh, they they don't know. They say that they're the way they transform creatures, though they slowly transform over the body is a bit like their assimilation, and that's why sandalwood will disrupt them. They won't be able, if you're wearing sandalwood, they won't be able to harm you.
Interesting. Do you
are
have sandalwood that we could use in our fight against them?
That's not true. They could still physically harm you. He means they can't assimilate you.
Either way, the question still stands.
Oh, they
I
have
don't wanna
quite a
be-
bit of it they could give you guys.
That would be appreciated.
I asked them how many soldiers they could spare to settle an old debt against the creatures.
Let's see. Bolg, he's like their military leader, I guess, because that's what Mira tells you. She's like, he's our head of military state, but in like a scary Yuan-Ti way. Says that every member of the Yuan-Ti society is.
you cut out there.
Oh, sorry. He says, no, Miras tells you that every member of the Yuan-Ti society has a soldier rank and is a soldier theoretically. So they're more than 20,000 strong.
So how
many could
of
you
your
give
powerful
us?
warriors would you be willing to give to a fledgling nation?
Let's see. They tell you they're starting to tell you that they'll give you a bunch, but then Brutus interrupts. He tells you that they can't move soldiers during the festival.
I ask how long the festival lasts.
Lasts all week, so there's like 4 or 5 more days of festival.
I guess we gotta party it up for a few days.
We don't have the time for that. We had like a week, I thought, or 2 weeks.
Just a little under 2 weeks, I think. Yep. And you guys
How
are.
much time is left?
I ask, is there anything we could do that would exempt them from that was the ceremony?
Mostly you'd have to talk to Brutus, because Brutus is snake god is the religious head, and that means Brutus is the religious head right now. And he says that the gods will destroy our harvest, they'll disrupt our society and lead us to bad blood. He says the soldiers must not be moved.
I would ask, what about if we sent you new citizens to assimilate for your soldiers? That way you still have the same amount when it comes to the end of it.
Make a persuasion check on that. Let's see. It seems like your argument is persuasive, that the other 2 honor guards are like, that does make sense, or at least that could work. But Brutus is very stern. He tells you that he says that we cannot go to war and we cannot mobilize soldiers during the festival.
I say that we understand, and
wait,
if they could send them after the festival, I really don't want to offend the gigantic snake god.
We got some leeway. Remember, we're diplomats. I'll offend. Don't worry. I ask, do you have any unwanted that you can give us as a redemption to them to become soldiers again? Anyone that had lost their station, given a chance through this, so not to offend your god?
He tells you that, Cronus will probably just come up to you and tell you that in Yuan society they don't have prisoners, and if you don't do your job, you just die.
Guys, we could attain the job of the leader of the partying, aka this person, and then we could determine that partying could get cut short. Thoughts?
Could you say that again? I didn't.
I didn't
Hypothetically,
really understand anything.
if we kill the person who is currently in charge of saying whether or not the partying can be ended early, we get that position because that's how Yuan-Ti society works, right?
Are you
Yeah.
saying kill all the snake gods?
No,
No. Isn't it like that one guy who's in charge? Didn't they just say that?
No.
It was like...
Yeah, Kronos is representing right now, so we would represent the religious.
No, Brutus.
Brutus, whatever.
Right. Which is the annoying one.
Yeah, but I fought Brutus personally. We are not gonna win.
Oh, alright.
Is there anything that we can give you so that we can do that? I can give you a new god to worship, or someone to put into.
Let's see. Kronos is like so excited. He's like, ooh, he's like, more gods. He's like, yeah. And he looks at Brutus, and Brutus just shakes his head. Brutus is like, anything put forth to mobilize soldiers during the festival, I will veto.
We understand, Brutus.
How
Thank you for your
about
time.
how about we go ahead and leave, and then they send assistance after the festival. The Yuan-Ti are known for finding you when they want to find you, correct?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they should
so,
find us.
like what I said earlier.
Yes.
But Snort brought up the point that you're on a time schedule, and that by the time they arrive, Highcliffe will be out of food for multiple days, and will be. Well, he says that they'll basically be dead at that point. They will no longer have food for days, and will have starved to death.
So what we should do is, our party should gather supplies from the Yuan-Ti and take them to Highcliffe now.
Well, I mean, if everyone's a soldier.
Well, can we ask them for extra supplies?
That would be permittable. Yeah, they could. They agree they could do that.
And then have them send troops to assist us
And just
after the festival.
They could, but the festival's still like 4 or 5 more days. Plus, it'd take them a day or two to even get there. So we're talking about like a week from this point.
Do you need to have the festival here?
Could you have it on the road?
Well, it's not the point they can't have it. The point is they can't do war things during the festival, I guess, is what Cronus and Brutus explain.
But okay. Gonna get philosophical here for a second.
All right, I'll tell you before you do it. The festival is the festival it's like familia, so it's like your family. So you're supposed to stay at home or stay close to home all day, which is why you're not supposed to mobilize soldiers during that time because it's crude.
Okay. Never mind then.
Can I say something then? You okay with that, Katie?
Yeah.
All right. I say, isn't the whole island your home though? Wasn't this all your land? Isn't even Highcliffe where we're from yours technically?
They might assume that is true, yeah.
So it's not really war as in more defense. If your city was under siege during the festival, you would defend it, wouldn't you?
I guess so. Chronos says if that was the case.
that this is happening during the festival?
That's tough. I'm not sure what they would do if they had to defend it. What they would probably do is Brutus would veto it, and then Kronos tells you they would probably appeal it in the next level of court, which is the high priest, because they can appeal religious decisions.
Can we appeal this festival decision in the High Court?
You could, theoretically, yeah. You could just consider this done and go to that court instead.
Oh.
So he's not persuaded by that at all?
No, actually, when you look at Brutus, he almost like smirks. The more you try to convince him, the more he just gets more stern about it, as if his decision has already been made.
Alright, well, I guess we should just appeal then. How
Go to
long
the
does the
higher
appeal
court?
process take?
He says we can go there. Kronos is like, we can go there right now.
Uh-oh.
Alright.
Is that bigger, badder snakes?
And he's like, no, but he's like, it's great because you get to meet my master.
Nice.
Sweet.
I like
All right.
Kronos.
So I guess we'll pick it up next week with doing the high priest and the appeal, and then probably the return to Highcliffe, really.
Hopefully.
Cool. All right, I'll stop the stream right there.